Oh, there you go. Sync clap.
That's just for my little sync and stuff. All right.
Second sticks. You ever go to film school?
No.
You'd have like cunts who always try to like show off.
Yeah.
So like you're meant to like clap it, but then people are like, oh, you gotta use the board or whatever. Even though it's just a noise. All it needs is a noise.
Yeah.
But like, and then like you would have cunts where like if two people clapped at the same time or something, they'd be like second sticks, even though no one gives a fuck.
Oh, really? Okay, that's a little thing. All right. Well,
show off.
welcome.
Well, hopefully the rest of my anecdotes aren't as boring as that
They're
one.
going to be just as good. Welcome. Welcome to the Ramsey Smith Isn't Funny podcast. I'm your host, Ramsey Smith, and boy, oh boy, we've got our first celebrity guest.
Oh, God. Where is he?
We're big. This is big time, baby. All right? We're getting listeners on this one, all right?
Maybe.
It's ALAN FANG.
Hey.
Say hello, Alan.
Hello.
You've seen him on not Yeah Mad anymore. Fuck them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless someone on Yeah Mad wants to come on, you know what I mean?
Paid and come along.
We can squash the beef. You know, we can be a squash the beef.
You could be,
podcast.
you like the Kendrick who like Bloods and Crips. You help them.
Yeah, exactly. We
reunite.
time together. We got an OG crew and a Yeah Mad.
Handkerchief. Yeah.
But no, who gives a fuck? You've seen him on. He's funny. It's Alan.
Hey, it's me. It's Alan.
He's Asian.
Is it going?
It's happening. We're happening right now.
Well,
this is the pod.
Thank you very much for having me, Ramsey
No
Smith.
worries.
I've been a huge admirer of yours for many days, and
Can I say this for real?
Yeah.
When I started comedy,
yeah, I hated you.
you were the guy.
Whoa! Don't
you
say
were
that.
You were the funny guy.
You were about to say the comedian's comedian.
You were the comedian's comedian.
I'm the open micer's open micer.
You were one of the people that I like respected.
Oh,
and it made performing at Nag's Head Hotel harder for me.
Oh, that's horrible
I'm like,
to hear.
what does Alan think of this?
Do you know what Alan's thinking about this? Is like, when does the 461 come? That's what I'm thinking to go home.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And you also hated me as well. But
Well, we can get into that. We should get into that, actually.
let's talk about open mic culture in Sydney circa
Okay.
2021.
Well, so I was asking earlier what this and also, is this good for the camera though? Because I feel like I'm drawing a lot of eye line here, but do they want us to look at them?
We
or
don't
not?
want eye line.
Okay.
Well, you might be the one guest they want to look in your eyes.
Right.
There'll be some people watching like Alan's.
Well, it's just that this Dynasty documentary, it's just kind of like foliage. There's nothing really.
Yeah, there's not much information happening.
Well, I'd assume that's a cool dog. I just assumed there'd be more like like Genghis Khan, like having sex with families and stuff. But anyway, what do you always talk about? I'll stop commentary. Well, yeah, open mic comedy. I started it after COVID. Took photos at comedy gigs, and then I started doing open mics. And yeah.
And look at you now.
Look at me now. I'm
Famous.
watching a Han Dynasty documentary
On a bed.
in Ramsey Smith's bed.
This is the first bed one we've done.
Yeah, right. Well, he told me that it's for the temperature of the air conditioning.
It's been getting hot.
But it feels like there may be other ulterior motives. Maybe halfway through the thing, we'll put the covers over us, and we won't tell them what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
With
Look,
our
here's the
hands
thing.
underneath.
If I was gonna fuck a guest, it would have been Tavis, and I didn't.
So who have you had on so far? Because I am joining an illustrious list of open micers.
Huge, incredible. All right.
Yeah.
So we started off with Shiro,
Huge.
Mickey.
Yeah. Fuck you, man.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Mickey. Then we went Karim.
Hey, what do you call a...
Yo, what's up, man? We had Karim.
Then yeah, ching chong ching. They just do the most generic.
Yeah. We got Tavis.
Yep.
And now Alan.
Wow.
I'm Fatty.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Fatty was a good one.
How could you forget Fatty?
Talk about Gallipoli.
Your bloody dog is
He's barking, but that's all right.
Anyway, well, I don't know. I just feel like so many of these podcasts talk about open mics, but like I don't know what's an interesting spin on it, or like what's a good angle to it, or what's something new we can talk about with it. I mean, I guess I can talk about. This is episode 10? I thought we'd get on to episode 1.
I think we're powering through these Han Dynasty episodes.
This
we got a white guy
is,
to tell you about the Han Dynasty.
Yeah, he has to white-splain the...
Do you know much about Chinese history?
Not really. I'm pretty isolated from my Chinese heritage.
Yes.
Probably due to not just liking much Chinese stuff growing up.
Okay. You didn't, yeah.
Well, like I went to like a Chinese school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like it was like in a church, like a Salvation Army church, and
yeah, they love church.
The Chinese.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Well, they're religious. I think Chinese people like to be subservient, whether it's like at work to customers or to a dictator
Or to
to
a
a god.
Okay.
I just think they like being told what to do.
Gotcha. Yeah.
They're nasty like that.
Yes, I did see a very interesting thing about the psychology. I don't know if this is Chinese or maybe Eastern versus Western, but there's this picture, and it's like one person in front of a group of people, and the group of people are yelling at the person, right? So just this picture, all right?
Okay.
And apparently, so different people from, I think it was like the US or like more Western places or whatever,
Yeah.
and China were all shown this picture, and there was with the question, how would this make you feel?
Right.
Right? And the answers were very like varied in both things, but the consistent thing was in Western places, everyone answered from the perspective of the person getting yelled at.
Right.
But in China, they put themselves in the crowd.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So it's more because it's a collective thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So in West, it's all about the individual.
Right. I see. Yes.
But
yes,
in China,
yes.
but when a Chinese person looks at it, they go, "Well, I'm the crowd. Like,
Yeah.
that's where I would be."
It's something about Asian people. They like groups and they like being one of many. They,
Yeah.
Like the whole like well, like do you know like Rath's bit? Oh, is that a bad
Let's
thing to
just
say?
do Rath's bits.
But Rath's
be the funniest
why-
this podcast has ever gotten.
Rath's bit about like there's no FOMO in North Korea because
Yeah.
you're always surrounded by people. Like
Yeah.
no one's missing out on the government issued military launch,
Yes.
missile launch.
Yeah.
So I just think definitely
Yeah.
Asian people.
It seems like the best place to do communism.
it's
Because communism, like, everyone's the same.
it's not. But I don't really know what because their communism isn't real communism.
Well, that's what they say about every communism.
Okay. What is communism?
Communism is a collective. It's like the state
Yeah.
owns everything. Everyone
Yeah.
is one. There's
Yeah.
no upward mobility in society. It's a bunch of people just coming to move the nation forward.
And now tell
it's
me,
all dumb.
but tell me why that you don't like that legitimately.
It's just because in practice,
Yeah.
it's because it's a strong idea.
Yeah.
So the problem is that
It's a great premise. It's a great setup.
it's a great premise. You just can't, work with the crowd to
Yeah.
get it going. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's a good premise. It makes sense. People kind of empathize with it. But the problem is that you need to force a lot of things to happen
Yeah.
to make it happen, right? And the only way to have the people that like communism really care about it.
Yeah.
And it's a very strong idea.
Yeah.
And so because of that, when people try to implement this idea, in order for communism to work, communism has to be the goal, not the betterment of people.
What do you mean communism has to be the goal?
The goal has to like people like Mao and Stalin
Yeah.
and Pol Pot, all
Yeah.
these people came in and they said like the ideal of creating a communist utopia is above any of the people. Right? So whoever gets in the way is going to get in the way, right?
Right.
So you had Mao, fucking because I think Mao had because Mao, people were starving to death because he said we have to industrialize.
Yeah.
In order to achieve communism, we need mass industrialization. So food production fucking plummeted because he's killing all these landlords and the good farmers and moving people from the country into the cities so
Yeah.
they could industrialize and get workers.
Yeah.
So it's like Mao's being like, well, that's how we need this huge production. This production power for our communism to work. So it just means if millions of people die, communism is the ideal.
Right.
Same thing Pol Pot did. He had a reverse one where he wanted like agricultural communism.
What does that mean?
So he was forcing city work. So he was, first of all, it was like any farmer that's too successful is like, he's fucking...
Yeah.
We got to off him, right?
Yeah.
So they're killing all the successful farmers. Then they're moving people from the city into the country to make food.
Yeah.
And they're not efficient farmers. So
Yeah.
then all these people are starving. So it's just never seemed to work properly.
Mm.
The main... I don't think communism, but what it is it's all change has to be gradual.
Yeah.
The problem with communism, even like fascism, all these new ideas is people get way too excited about them.
Yeah.
And they go, we have to just take society and just restructure it completely.
But it's a nice idea.
It's a nice idea.
It's a beautiful idea.
Yeah. I knew you were a CCP mouthpiece. You know what I
was
mean?
just trying to think about.
I think I know where the OG crew get its funding.
I was just saying that. Don't you think that there's kind of communism in like stand up?
In what way?
In like open mics,
Because everyone's gay?
Well, that as well, but also like everything's even, everything's equal, and then
Everyone gets 5 minutes.
everyone gets 5
No
minutes.
matter
At an
how
open mic, at
terrible.
least,
At
maybe.
open mic level.
That's what it is. Like open mics is communism because no one's achieving anything. We're all under the dictatorship of some awful room runner who picks who goes last. That's
Shout
what
out to
it's-
Huey Phillips.
Shout out to New Wave Comedy. But then when you go to a book room, that's like in like free will. You know, that's like a market. You know.
Yes. It's the moment. It's the same way like most like you know what I mean? Like communists or like people with like socialist ideas now.
Yeah.
They have a fucking, podcast in New York or whatever.
Yeah.
The moment they get successful, they're buying property.
Yeah,
The moment
yeah.
you can jump out, you're like, oh, fuck,
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
you cunts,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's like the whole thing about immigration where they're like, I'm going to come through the door but close it on behind
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
So no one else can get through.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that what you were saying about what Mal does with the farmers, that's also like open mics because if you see someone who's getting better or doing well, you try and clip their wings.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So like when I saw you,
Yeah.
I was like, at
You
first,
give them a little reality
well,
check.
you know, this is actually something I want to pick up on the scene because this is
Okay,
a
what's going on?
this is a major topic that people would confront me on constantly. They'd be like, you know what your problem is, Alan? You treat Ramsey like a piece of shit. You treat this open micer like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? You're a bad person.
Yeah.
You're evil.
You're saying you're capitalist.
Yeah.
You're trying to introduce capitalist meritocracy into a communist society.
Yeah.
Which is open mic.
Yeah,
You
I
know
guess
what I
I'm
mean?
like I'm like the liberator.
Yes.
Or who's trying to no. But like so I would but my whole thing with this and well maybe you can tell me some of the things that I did to you. Which
You're
would
the
be,
fascists.
what do you was that
You're
mean?
the fascist in Germany
Yeah.
fighting against the Communist Party saying, no, there's a hierarchy
Yeah.
between the races.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's
ability.
ability.
So maybe you can tell me some but like I would see you and be like, okay, this guy's new. He's all right.
I was terrible. What do you mean?
He was all right, and then a few months later, I'd be like, okay, he's not really getting better, so that's interesting. And then, and then I would, in my head, I just make a little. I wouldn't think about you,
Yeah.
but I'd make a mental note like, oh, fuck that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't really. No.
not fuck that guy, but well, I liked it more when you were on my side, but I like
No, not
like
really. I'm confused.
not like fuck that guy. Just be like, oh, okay, that guy's not really.
He's not worth your time.
But people think that I'm saying like not worth my time. Like my time.
That's exactly what
No,
you're
but
saying.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying in a general sense of time. It's like, okay, if you see,
He's not getting funnier.
No.
I
But if
don't want to make eye contact. I don't want to look him in the eyes ever.
that's not what I said.
That's what you were doing.
I'm saying like you're on a bus, right?
Okay.
And there's a bus, and there's like some really hot chick.
Yeah.
That perhaps someone who looks like your beautiful wife.
Yeah.
And you think I'm gonna give her the time of day. I'm gonna make eye contact with her uncomfortably.
Okay.
But then you see some like crazy guy. He's got like symbols. He's like a one-man band. He's got symbols on his knees. He's got gigantic backpacks everywhere, and he's like screaming like Italian words or whatever.
Okay.
You're not gonna give that guy the time of day because
No.
you're making a calculation based on observing him and his behavior.
Yeah.
So it's the same with the open mic scene. But I'm not rude to anyone. I'm not actively rude to anyone. But maybe you should tell me some of the things that made you think that I didn't like you.
Which you didn't. Which is what you're saying. Not made me think. You didn't.
So tell me some of the things that I would do or like say or maybe things I wouldn't do or something.
Well, it's just like when you're doing open mics. You see someone 4 times a week.
yeah,
Right,
camaraderie.
every single week for like months.
Yeah.
Maybe when you say hi, Alan, you smile.
Oh, I wouldn't say hi to you. I wouldn't smile at you.
You wouldn't smile, no.
Fuck.
You'd have this just glare of like, fuck off, cunt. You know what I mean? I'm a fucking big deal. You know what I mean? That's what it was like. I'm better than you.
An accent,
right?
I wouldn't be thinking I'm a big
You'd
deal.
bust have.
No way.
Yeah.
But okay, so I would do things to you, and then would you like? Because I've known oh, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I know that other people have been like, like asked around, being like, does Alan have a problem? But like, I don't. I pride myself on being polite and nice to people. But I guess
That's crazy. You
Oh,
pride
really?
yourself on that?
well,
You're not nice to people.
Really?
No.
What do I do?
The fact, like, but it's also like, sure, someone isn't going to be funny or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's also like, it's taking that and being like, I'm not going to respect you as a human. You know what I mean?
But I don't
I'm not
put
going
it
to say
there.
hi to this person who's just I'm around.
But why
constantly.
but why is the hi so necessary?
Because you're a human.
I understand that.
Because you're a human and you're having an experience.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, but if you came up to me, and do you think that if you came up to me and you said hi, Alan, and smiled, I would just fucking spat on you and walked away?
No, but you would have like glared at me with this look of like. You wouldn't even given a pro. You were like, oh, hi, and then you would have kind of.
No, I would
You
never
would've
do that.
Said that and then gone to do something else. You would have like,
Oh man.
you know what I mean? You would have gone to talk with Huey. You know what I mean?
Wow. You don't. I guess you don't really see your flaws until they're laid out on a podcast.
No.
Okay. So what are things that? Okay, and so I would do that, and then, do you think I still do that?
No, I don't think so. Well, you don't come to open mics.
Okay. Well, there you go.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So what
Which
should
is fair.
what? Okay, but now you're the guy.
Yes.
Now you're the
Yeah, I know.
Now you're the king.
I know.
You're the
Okay, well.
You're the guy who is the guy. You're the guy, right? And so people look up to you. Yeah, you do. You run all the
I'm
rooms.
not
and
the
you,
guy. Come
you
on.
are, and you come. It's like you and Keanush and stuff like that, and then everyone else, but you and Keanush, and then so like, and then so like. So like, what are things that you? Do you see things that I would do that you do, or you don't think you're a different type of person than me?
I don't think it's ever as bad as you.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is like when I was running Scruffies for a bit.
Yeah.
It's like now I got to recreate that. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I got to recreate you and Huey's energy. Like that would be coming to my head.
Right.
And then eventually I was like, that's so dumb. Like,
Yeah.
fuck,
Fuck
you know
that.
what I mean?
That's good. Yeah.
But I think
Oh, sorry, not that. But yeah.
Well, you can say we can say anything.
I'm not
on
allowed
this.
to, but
This
yeah.
is a free speech podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. But no. So it's kind of like, I think you get to a place where like, I think it's understandable from the point of there are legitimate insane people at open mics
definitely.
who you don't want to like
Obviously.
interact with, right?
Are you allowed to talk about any of them?
I can talk about whoever you want.
All right, maybe.
There's a guy yesterday
Oh.
who for his whole set had his like hands down his pants.
Was it the guy called One Man Improv Troupe?
No.
Okay.
No, that's
Okay.
that's a different
The names on these things.
Okay,
Okay, so he's putting his hand down his
hand down his pants.
Yeah.
I think the premise was that he was at like a bus station and he had to take he had to like unwedgie himself.
Right.
And then so he just put his and then like he was just there for like 4 minutes just
Right.
trying to make people uncomfortable.
Right.
Like that's and there's also people who are crazy off stage, right? And you find out who those people are, right?
Yeah.
But I don't see the problem with someone who's just a nice guy who isn't funny at all on stage.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of them.
Yeah.
And I don't, like you did, seem to have a problem interacting with them. It felt like it was like, Alan is worried that my unfunniness
will rub off on me.
is going to rub off on him. You know what I mean?
well now you've unlocked another memory.
Which is also now at a level where I can look back and realize that you were and are still nothing. You know what I mean?
Of course, I'm dirtbag.
Exactly.
I'm a dirtball.
Exactly. Even though you're famous.
I'm not famous, but
You are.
I'm nothing underneath. But anyway, okay, so you've changed your tune in our discussions because
Okay.
you've talked to me and you've been like, we should be bullying people.
Well,
Not that I was
bullying
I was bullying people.
You were.
But we talked and then you were like, yeah, you should bully unfunny people so they become funnier. You said that to me.
Yeah, and you should bully them. But there should be some good humor about it.
Well,
I would have loved to be bullied by you.
Can I just say this?
Bullying assumes interaction.
Okay. I've seen you interact with people in a bullying, fun way.
Yes.
That hasn't felt very fun.
No.
I remember you.
Never.
I remember there was a guy who came out after the gig.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, so bad, I bomb. I'm so
Yeah.
terrible. Like, I just want to quit comedy,
Yeah.
or whatever." And then I was like, "Oh, this guy just like fucking making a big deal about nothing or whatever."
Yeah.
And then you were like, "Yeah, you should quit.
Yeah.
You told him straight, you should quit.
Yeah.
Now, I would never do that to you. I would think that, but I would never do that to you.
Yeah, but
But I think that's worse. That you did
no,
it.
not at all.
How is that not worse?
No, because if this guy's going to make it in comedy,
Yeah.
right?
You've helped him.
I've helped him.
Wow.
Right?
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Because no, he was. I wasn't just telling this guy to quit.
Yeah.
He was saying, "Oh man, I bombed," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're not very good. Of course you bombed." Right?
No. You
Completely
said
true.
No. You said you'll never be funny and you should quit.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
And either he quits.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
I was never going to make it.
I think he did.
Huh?
Have you seen him since?
No sweat off my back. Okay. No, that guy's also annoying. I also don't like that guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that guy is no, he's not just unfunny on
Right,
stage,
right.
but he's
right.
uncomfortable
Okay.
to hang around.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a big listener of the pod too.
Maybe.
But so it's like that.
Fatty, if you're listening, no.
He was already like kind of annoying, whatever. But it's like no, because it's like when I was starting, it's like I knew that I sucked.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And being shunned was worse than someone being like, "That sucked."
Okay, I think that's pretty particular to you, but okay, yeah, keep going, yeah.
But I got to treat everyone like they're me.
What does that mean?
Well, I feel like you should treat others how you want to be treated,
Yeah.
right? And that means because you know if you bombed,
Yeah.
you know if you're not funny,
Yeah.
you know if you just have fucking no idea what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So it would have been better for
Okay,
someone to be
yeah.
like, "You're bad."
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
I've got another thing on that.
Okay.
Okay. On the shunning thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have been in that situation where I've been the odd person. Because I used to take photos at comedy gigs.
Yes.
So I would be at these big shows with all the big comics and all these comics I want to talk to
Yeah.
and like in conversation about nothing, get
Yeah.
validation from them.
Yes.
Obviously, right?
Yeah.
And so I would like wait around in the hallway and be like, "Oh, will X and X, will Michael Hing talk to me or something?"
Yes.
Or will Sam Taunton come down the stairs or whatever? And then they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Or they walk past me, or they wouldn't want to talk to me because they shouldn't want to talk to me.
Okay.
Because I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
So, but to me, that was like not. It was just the way it was.
I think I understand it's the way. Yeah, I kind of get that because they're doing a show.
Yeah.
They don't know that you're a comic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Did you say hi to them?
Yeah. I'd say hi to them.
And then what would you say?
Well, it wouldn't be like a one-on-one. It'd be like in a group setting. But hey, how you going? And then I'd be like taking photos or whatever.
Yeah. But that's also, I think you're, like myself, are not good at talking with people.
Yeah.
Like, you're not good at... there's people who would do it, who
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah.
Right?
Like mingling or network.
Networking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They know how to
Yeah.
see someone
Yeah.
and understand the situation.
Yeah.
And they know how to, like, be genuinely, like, have a bright smile and, like, personality.
Yeah.
And they know how to get a lead in. And they know how to go say, "Hey, so-and-so... X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Now you're in a conversation."
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I know that you definitely don't know how
No,
to
no,
do
no,
that,
no.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you just say hi to someone,
Yeah.
and then they go, "I'm not going to talk to that guy," that's
Yeah.
fair. Because if someone says hi to me, I don't know if they
Sure.
want a conversation. I don't know if they're just saying hi.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like, the onus is on you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't see those situations really comparable at all.
Okay. Wow, you really.
Did they like grimace at you and act like they hated you?
I want to
Because
know.
then it's the same.
I
want
to know what I was
Did
doing
Michael
to.
Hang spit on you?
I want. But I never spent. I want to know what I'm doing that's eliciting these like feelings. Because you know what? I'm gonna be that guy. Maybe you're projecting.
Oh, probably. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't treat. But that's my thing. I don't treat anyone. I don't. Just because I think someone isn't funny doesn't mean I'm ruder to them than every other person I don't think is funny.
You're just not nicer to them.
I'm just not nicer to them.
You're just not
But
nice
I
to
treat
them
them
at
on
all.
a base. But I treat them everyone on a base level of just like humanity.
I mean, your base level's pretty low then. Your
Shut the
base
fuck up.
level's very low.
Okay, but you're saying base level low is me just if someone says hi to me, I just go, "Oh hey," and then I walk away.
No.
That's horrible.
No. There's not enough hatred in your eyes.
What? Okay, well, someone has to take a photo and show me this hatred in my eyes because
You would like do a grunt hi and then
What?
turn away. Yes.
so I did to you once.
Yeah, definitely.
So you said hi and I go, "Hey."
You would no, it's more like you would just kind of you would like look and you like kind of like do like an open in the eyes, and then you'd kind of be looking away.
Oh,
Which
okay.
but I understand.
Right.
now.
Okay.
But
Okay.
like-
Hang on.
But
But
retroactively, I can understand that that's just who you are.
no,
But
it's
it
because I
comes
knew.
off
You,
as
it's because
cunty.
I knew you for like 4 weeks.
More than 4 weeks. Yeah, I know, but like, come on.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, okay. Well, so
More
no-
than 4 weeks. This is like a couple of months, I reckon.
maybe. Okay. Well, I can't remember. But okay. But now I'm thinking like, have I acted in a way that you reckon will bite me in the ass in the future?
No.
You know?
No, I don't think so.
Because have you heard Joan Rivers' quote about this? The same people you see on the way up, same people you see on the way down.
Yeah, that was from an episode of Louis.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
So it's a Louis quote through Joan Rivers.
I thought it was a real quote of hers.
I'm pretty sure it's from the episode of... Or maybe
No,
it is a
I
real
got it
quote.
from the episode of Louis, but I thought that she actually. Anyway, it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
maybe it's possible,
But you know
yeah.
what I'm saying. So like, do you think that I put a target on my back? Is what I'm asking.
I don't think... No.
Okay.
I think a lot of people think you're a cunt.
Oh god.
But most of those people have quit comedy.
Which is
or they know you more now.
Which is such an amazing thing because I've always like felt like I'm such a people pleaser. I'm such a fucking I don't want to say that word, but I'm such a fucking like pussy. I'm such a fucking like all these things, and I try and I acquiesce so much to make people like me. I think, but then I am learning more that within the scene there's quite a different reputation of me,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting.
But
I
also,
didn't
like,
really
I
realize.
think if you do comedy, you also have to realize that, like, a lot of people have autism.
Yeah,
Like, they're on the spectrum.
yeah,
A lot of people who I've thought were, like, being rude
yeah. Oh
are
right.
just autistic.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
talk to
definitely,
people.
definitely.
And I'm one of those people as well.
Yeah,
Like, I know that I'm weird, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Okay, so...
Recognize you.
Well,
Well.
this is wild.
This is
Okay, well,
huge.
not really. This isn't
Yeah.
huge. But basically, so I was walking into Flodge,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Which is an open mic.
Yeah.
And then as I'm walking, this was like 4 weeks ago, I've just played basketball.
Oh yeah.
So, like, I'm still kind of out of breath.
Yeah.
And I'm, like, sweaty.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of, like, dehydrated. I'm, like, confused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm kind of, like, I've got, like, my legs hurt.
Yeah.
Right? So I walk in, and then I just hear a female voice say my name.
Wow.
And I don't recognize it.
Hot.
Right? So I'm just kind of like, and I have a very delayed reaction because I feel like
Okay.
I hear my name often,
Right.
but it's me is when background sounds and I fill in my name. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it's insane.
It's not insane.
That's pretty crazy.
I feel like oftentimes I'll be like, was that my name or is that just something that had 2 syllables and kind of?
Oh yeah, that's happened, but I wouldn't. I've had that, but I wouldn't consider that a thing that I do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just maybe happened once.
It's a thing that I know will happen to me, right?
Okay.
So I kind of hear it. I'm on like a weird delay.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like, I do like a look up and like I turn around and I clearly look very confused. If everyone's watching me,
Yeah.
I look like a weirdo, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what was that, right? And then a lady like working behind the bar,
Yeah.
and then she goes like, oh, hi, right?
Yeah.
And then I go, how do you know my name?
Oh god.
Like an insane person.
Yeah, that's
okay.
I can see it coming.
And then she goes, oh, the podcast.
Whoa, she did know you.
Yeah.
But is this the chick who does the marketing for Flodge?
It's I think she'd also seen me do stand up a couple times.
She said
At
that
the mic,
I
it
have a
was like
story
a
about
fan.
her. Well, not a story, but yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, if you're listening, you know, I was tired and I'm retarded.
He's retarded.
You know what I mean?
He didn't think,
You can say retarded, but not
thought-
gay.
He thought that the
No, you can say retarded, but not gay.
He thought that the beer spray.
What's the rules?
He thought that the spray for the beer gun was actually his name because he's an egomaniac. So we're sorry.
No, she did say my name.
Oh wait, she did say her name.
She did say my name. She
Yeah.
recognized and said,
Oh, and she
Ramsey.
watches. Okay.
And I freaked out. I'm like, how do you know my name? She goes, oh, the podcast. I work. Like, I've seen you do the stand up. I like your comedy.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like nodded, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then and then she said sorry, and then I left,
Yeah.
and I felt bad.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, I'm just retarded.
Retarded.
You know what I mean? I'll give you an autograph.
Yeah.
I'll get an autograph from Alan, and he's actually famous.
Well, she actually said to me like, "Oh yeah, you were so funny. I thought your set was the best of the night." I don't think she saw me. I think she says that to everyone.
No, I don't think you say that to everyone.
But anyway.
You're funny. Why not?
Oh, thanks, pal.
Well, you were.
Yeah, it used to be.
You've got more normal.
If I went back when I was doing dad jokes, I was really funny. But okay, so that's the open mic stuff out of the way.
Yes.
Now,
why can you say gay, retarded, but not gay?
Because retarded is like passe now.
Yes, it is.
Gay is still kind of like there's a sting there.
You don't want to offend all the people who
now. Let me just say,
have got a weird homoerotic one-way relationship.
And let me just say that everything I'm self-censoring right now, I blow fucking effing and jeffing on the street. But well, I just because I think a lot of open mic podcasts talk about open mics.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking like, what else? What's something that you haven't discussed that's interesting to you, or like what's something that's like different to talk about?
I did have a question.
Okay.
But I've forgotten it.
Great. Have you talked about the election already?
Yeah, I did a special.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah,
I think I
man.
tried listening to that.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah,
it was pretty boring.
No, it wasn't bad.
What do you think about it?
Well, why was it? How about this? Okay, why was that podcast boring?
Because I think I was very tired.
Oh, okay. So
I don't have time. When I'm tired and I'm doing a solo podcast,
right,
it's very hard to build up any type of energy and get a roll.
So let's
on.
redo some of that podcast.
Let's redo some of it,
and let's have energy. Sorry, how my water? I'm
yeah, man. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, what are your opinions? Because you're a neo-Nazi sort of fascist, like.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just a regular. I'm pretty left-leaning.
Are you actually?
I think so.
Because you got pretty crazy views on minorities, but
no, I just say that for the fun of it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I was saying with the Tavis, I was saying I am I just want I want the reaction of people kind of going like, oh, I don't like hearing that. Like I get a lot of joy out of that.
Yeah. I can understand.
So it's like if I was living in like the late 1930s, early 1940s.
Oh,
in Germany,
you'd be like, I love the
I'd
Jews.
Be like, I think Jews are so cool,
Yeah,
and everyone would be like, "Oh, Ramsey, shut up."
You know what I mean? To say that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'd be getting kicked out of open mics for doing 5 minutes on how cool Hanukkah is. You know what I mean? So that would be me.
There's an Overton window of views that we accept here, and we. So you're liberal. But you understand Trump to a degree.
I
understand
his appeal. I understand that he's cool. I understand that it doesn't feel like the Democrats represent the working class anymore. Yeah. And even though I don't think Donald Trump is good for the working class, his policies won't be.
Yeah.
I understand why some fucking guy in Pennsylvania or whatever is going to be like, at least this guy's talking about me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I wanted to talk about it, but now I feel like we're just going to sort of repeat whatever other people say. But like, I just, what
I really thought was going to happen
is
I thought Kamala was going to win because
she's
hot.
You think she's hot?
I think she's real pretty.
Okay, that's
and I thought that would generally... I thought if someone needed like 5 days before the election, someone close enough, like with a big enough platform, and close enough to the Democratic Party, but not within the Democratic Party, had to say, "Hey, do you want a hot president?"
Right.
Because I think Kamala's pretty hot.
Now that's interesting.
And that would have swung. I thought that would have swung a lot of people.
That's interesting because I think that if a woman does become president, that she'll be more motherly than hot.
Okay.
Like it'll be like a
it'll be a maternal figure.
It'll be a Gretchen Whitmer instead of an AOC or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
But how about this? Why don't we do fuck, marry, kill?
Okay.
Hillary.
Yep.
AOC.
Yep.
And Kamala.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting. I think we know who we're killing.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Back on that Lolita Express out of here.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Got to get him back for all that baby blood she drank.
Yeah.
So Hillary's dead.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd marry Kamala.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you'd FOC.
And I'd FOC.
So you think she's quite attractive, but you think that you thought that they were going to vote for her because she was attractive.
Yes.
But it surprised you that they didn't.
It surprised me that she didn't win.
Yeah. Right.
But I think because they didn't run on it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I think if maybe not
huge.
Directly from not directly from the party line, but just
but like a Zoo magazine cover.
Yeah, exactly. If someone was if someone was like, I think Kamala's really pretty, we should vote for her. Like,
Yeah.
who do you want to look at press conferences?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
But
it's
what
like,
could they have run on in terms of her? Like, how could they? So you're saying maybe like.
it's like a comic. Trump's funnier,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
But Kamala's pretty. What's going to get you more Instagram followers?
That's true.
Right?
So Kamala should have been up there. I guess she kind of was talking about her period.
It's just like
Talking about her sex
It's
life.
just like a comedian where it's like you're not pretty enough to be a model.
Yeah.
But in the comedy world,
You're hot for
you're super hot.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are you going to get those? Who's
The
gonna
Annie
get-
Letterman of presidential candidates.
Yeah.
So okay, so you're saying maybe what shorter shorts,
I don't think short. I think
Brazilian butt lift.
I like the pantsuit look on a good looking woman.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You're a maniac.
Because it's
sir.
like it's a powerful, sexy
You're speaking
woman.
like a governor right now, man. You're speaking like a fucking
I
Roy
like
Cooper right now.
I like a woman that's going to give you a little bit of you're going to
yeah,
some back and forth.
some Devil Wears Prada shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
okay.
like you're still in charge, but there's competition. You know what I mean? I don't think
I think that's insane. But okay, so you like the pantsuit.
I like
and
the
then,
pantsuit.
So crop
I
top.
I don't think she had to change her look.
Oh,
Someone just had
she
to
was
mention
hot
it.
enough. Okay, so
Yeah.
what more? Like her husband comes out more, or Trump should be like who?
I
So,
don't think her husband.
so maybe Obama comes out on the speech.
If Obama, yes.
So Obama
Perfect.
comes out. He's at the DNC. He's like, "You gotta vote," and all sort of stuff. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Kamala,
She's a fine looking lady.
she got a big ass,
Come on now. She's a pretty looking black woman,
pretty looking thing."
right?
Yeah.
When's the next time you're gonna get this? That I think that would have done
Wow, that's interesting.
a lot for her chances,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I think they just didn't have an identity, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, why do you think?
it's not an incumbent.
Yeah, there was
election
there was
year.
no incumbency. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? So okay. Well, why don't we start? Because I'll say this: the only time I've cried in the last 2 years is watching a Joe Biden documentary.
What?
Isn't that insane?
What?
I just remember watching this PBS documentary about it was one of the ones where it was like they compared Trump and Biden.
Yes.
Like who you're gonna vote for or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was like the story about Biden going to New York and this cop died or whatever, and there was a big cop funeral.
Yeah.
And he went to the family of the dead cop and like sat with them and like talked about his my son Bo and all this sort of stuff. And I have no idea. It was like 3:00 on a Tuesday. I was unemployed, and I was like bawling my eyes out, thinking, like, "He's such a good man,
Yeah.
Joe Biden."
Wow.
And I liked him because he was like that malarkey guy and he was like all the aviators and that sort of stuff. on.
Yeah.
And he was always like mentally insane, like
Yeah.
in terms of the being old from like 2021 or whatever,
Yeah.
or 2020. And then, but he was like insane since then. And yeah.
He didn't seem to know things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think Biden was like, he had a bit of a cool factor.
Yeah.
I felt like, it just ran out. What I like about Biden is that he's like, I won't be running next year.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did that about, June this year?
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that? And then, just stopped doing anything.
Well,
He was still the president, and then you just didn't see or hear it from him.
Well, yeah, he was trying to give the shine to Kamala.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or Kamala. But I mean, he did like the whole Syria thing. Wasn't it something Syria?
Well, I guess that was now.
And then Hezbollah, not Assad.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say most of my stuff is just like scrolling through thumbnails.
No,
of YouTube
definitely.
shit.
The Syria's been overturned.
There was a ceasefire, wasn't there? He did that, didn't he? A ceasefire, not the main one, but a little one.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I guess
Lebanon. There was a Lebanon ceasefire.
There was a Lebanon ceasefire.
He did that, and
But could we attribute that to him?
Oh, that's true.
It was Lebanon and Israel.
Yeah,
Well,
true.
Hezbollah and Israel.
Yeah.
But
then so I thought that for ages he would have given it up, and he never did.
yeah,
And then that debate was awful, and then he everyone hates him.
Yeah.
And then fucking
what I thought the strategy was going to be is I thought they were going to leave it to even later.
Wow. Why?
Because they were going to be because Kamala, she never had good approval ratings while she was VP. right? People weren't going to magically like her all of
Right.
a sudden, right? So I thought what they were going to do is they were going to get closer and closer to the election because it just got closer and when it was still Biden.
Yeah.
It was just like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like I know that fucking South Park bit, the what is it, turd sandwich or
Okay.
do you remember that one?
No, but yeah.
It was I think the satire they were doing was like they had to vote, like the kids had to vote for like a new mascot for their school,
Right.
and the voting came down because
okay.
it was between a turd sandwich and something else,
Right.
like
Right.
an
Right.
ass
Yeah.
bandit or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like so it was obviously a allegory for like elections or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
But this really felt like it's either Trump or a guy who's literally senile.
Yeah.
Like, this is insane. So
Yeah.
I thought they were going to run that down to the point where people were just saying literally anybody else.
Yeah.
Literally anybody else.
Yeah.
And then a month beforehand, you go, actually, it's Kamala.
Yeah.
And then we go, I guess it's someone else.
Yeah.
I guess it's got me.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I thought they were going to do.
Yeah. Well, actually, before all that stuff, with the Republican National Convention debate, did you watch that much?
No.
You don't really care about that sort of stuff.
No, I don't. I don't have time. The debates they're long.
Yeah, they're not very fun. But
Yeah.
I was watching them, and I was like addicted to watching them.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
all of them were superstars.
Yeah,
You
it's
had
entertainment.
Trump, not Trump, sorry, but Vivek
Yeah,
was like insane.
yeah,
And he's like talking about like climate change as a hoax and all sort of stuff. Nikki Haley is like being a centrist, even though she's like a fucking crazy bitch and
Yeah.
like all sort of stuff. Chris Christie is there,
yes,
being fucking insane,
big dog.
big dog, and like and the guy sounds like ChatGPT, all this sort of stuff. And then you had like Pence. It was like such an amazing, and like all of it. It was great because it felt like a real preliminary thing.
Yeah.
'Cause Trump wasn't there. It was just beautiful. Anyway, so then Trump gets, and then so Biden steps down. Kamala, freedom, you know, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone loves her, which I never really understood, but I guess.
I don't think people loved her.
Well, she raised a lot of money, so there must have, but maybe.
But that's
Yeah.
the Democratic elite.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's not people.
So you're saying it was like a confected thing that they told people, even though it wasn't. There wasn't really like a mass like love for her.
I think with any party you can get people who are going to like pretend like they do.
Yeah.
Or like there'll be a certain there'll be a small percentage I think that actually do really like her.
Yeah.
And there'll be all this support from Democrat supporters because the Democratic Party's been, you know, it's all, you know what I mean?
Not
It was
really, but yeah.
proven when Biden was in charge and was completely and still is,
Yeah.
and he's out of it. It
Yeah.
seemed to prove to everyone that's like, okay, the president and the V doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like there's the string pullers in the Democratic Party.
Yeah,
that are
yes,
running
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So you're either voting for the string pullers, right? So it was kind of a thing where like the string pullers of the Democratic Party, like nothing's really changed. Just they need a good face.
Yeah.
So they got Kamala. You can get people. You can also get people who want to work their way up the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
That are just there's a lot. They are on the Republican side, but I feel like there's a lot. It's very evident on the Democratic side.
Yeah.
Where they're just party line.
Yeah.
They're just, what's your opinion? Whatever gets me up the next couple of months.
Yeah.
That's all they think about.
Yeah.
That's all they like study. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of that. So you can get people to be, but I don't think there was ever this actual support of Kamala. They were like the same. I guess it just seemed like a better Hillary, like a bit of a better Hillary.
Well,
Like
it was like anti-Trump. It was like different from Biden. It was like all this sort of things.
Yeah.
That energy into it. But I don't think it was anything to do with her specifically.
No,
because I don't think she was anything ever really. And she was a better Hillary. She didn't lean into the identity politics.
Yes,
She was like, well, I mean, she wasn't like super. I mean, you know what? I was gonna say like she's more charismatic than Hillary, but actually Hillary was able to like impromptu talk.
Yes,
And Kamala was like famously, I guess, not able to do that.
Yeah,
But I guess she had like a better vibe to her.
yeah,
And stuff. And then the debate happens, and it's like she's like she's I'm with her, and like you know she killed him, or like
yeah. There were those people.
like laughing
yeah.
off all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
And then all the election stuff happens.
yeah. But I think ultimately,
Yeah.
it wasn't a. It's a for every election almost across the world.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a keep the same people in charge.
Right, that's what everyone
Power.
said. Like in the last 5 years or whatever, almost every government incumbency has like flipped.
Constantly flip-flopping. It's what happened in Queensland
Whoa.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Equally as important as
Huh?
the United States.
Well, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's also the thing.
Okay.
This is where, like, every Australian, I know Australians who don't know about local politics,
Well, I
but
know
they care so much about
That's
the
true.
Trump. You know
That's
what
true.
I mean?
That's true. That's true.
And it's like,
All right. Yeah. My bad. My bad, brother.
what do you mean?
My bad.
No, it's not. But it's like, well, then you should care about this as well.
Yeah.
But it's like everywhere. It's like,
but
with-
state government, state
yeah, it
government.
affects you. It affects
the,
you way more than
the Queensland
US
state
election does.
affects me.
Well, it does ultimately
Yeah.
because it's going to affect the federal election.
Okay. Yeah. So what's
right?
happening in Brisbane?
Well, what it is it almost doesn't even matter who's in charge. With a year like this, where inflation's going out of control,
Yeah.
right? Like inflation's been huge, cost of living's been huge,
Yeah.
Housing crisis has been huge. If people are not that secure in what they're doing, they're just going to vote for change.
Yeah.
Because people as a mass aren't smart enough to actually look at both sides
Yeah.
and be like, oh, well, like, what are their policies? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, inflation's bad, I'm going to vote for the other one.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what-
Yeah.
that's what swing
Yeah.
voters
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And if in 4 years and inflation is if prices actually go down, they won't under Trump.
Yeah.
Because the president doesn't have that power.
Yeah.
To just magically, they might hold steady.
So the Federal Reserve or some shit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all that. But it's even then, like, he can't just step in and be like,
Sure, yeah,
bread
yeah.
costs this
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what
yeah.
That's not free market. That's
No,
that's socialism.
Yeah.
That's communism right there.
Hey-o.
If you want Trump to lower the prices, move to China.
Exactly.
Okay? But yeah, so it's like, unless things magically get better in 4 years, which they might, because people don't know what world
Yeah.
their economy is going to do.
Yeah.
If in 4 years and things are worse off,
Yeah.
then the US will go blue. Right? And if people think this is good, we want to hold steady,
Yeah.
they'll vote for blue again. If they say this is good, we want to hold steady, they'll change.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all elections. You can have all policy and stuff, but as long as you don't do something too insane, people are just going to vote on whether their lives are better, or at least perceives are better, or
Yeah.
if they're worse.
Well, what do you if cast your mind forward 4 years? What do you think it'll be like? Because it's I'm so fascinated what's going to happen now because they've gotten rid of almost all of the checks and balances that they had in the first.
Yes.
I mean, and it's all just loyalists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, what do you think? I guess he can't. I don't think he'll change the constitution to like get rid of term limits.
Yeah.
But I think there'll be some crazy shit.
I think the fact that this will be he's old.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's going to be old. He seems to be getting a bit slower.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Prime 2016 Trump.
No.
He's nowhere to be seen.
Gone. Yeah.
All right? We got this older Trump.
Yeah.
He's moving slow. I think in 4 years, I think what would be good for the world is if he's, like, tired. And he goes, I've had my fun.
You think there's a chance that he tries to go for more?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Of course.
How amazing would that be?
Because he just wants to do it.
Yeah.
Because I think because he's like, if he can just be that guy,
Which I don't.
that's cool.
And
in,
I don't.
in his mind, he's
Yeah.
cool, and I get it as well. You know what I mean?
And I don't want him to do it, but I want to see what it's like.
Yeah, I want to see what happens.
It would be fucking amazing.
because it's also like, if you're that close, and you're what Trump's personality is.
Yeah.
I can understand just being like, I wonder if I can be president for life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, can I do that?
And you know what I reckon Biden does when he hears that?
What?
He puts the aviators back on.
Yeah.
Fire up Air Force One. I'm coming back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Every election from now on is Trump.
It's just Trump and
It's
Biden.
Trump and Biden.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be
man.
like Ivanka versus like
Ivanka versus Hunter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's a
Hunter's
crazy.
cracked out. You know what I mean? But yeah,
I'll say this about. I think there's like the next big HBO TV show about Hunter Biden.
yeah, that'd be a good
The
one.
son, the president's son, the vice president's son, or
President.
whatever. He's near Obama. He's fucking doing drugs on Air Force
Fucking crack.
One.
He's on Air Force One. He's going to Ukraine. He's talking to people.
He's filming prostitutes on his laptop while doing cocaine in a
Yeah.
bathtub, and he then has to go and fucking pardon a turkey. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
exactly.
like
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
most insane.
Part of the turkey.
It's like the most like
Yeah, of
awesome
course,
day and
yeah.
night.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be an all. Anyway,
That'd be a
okay.
great
Well, that's
show.
the election.
That's the election done. So your connection, I want to get more to your connection with your roots. They're not there.
Oh, true.
You didn't do family stuff? There was Chinese?
So I went to a Chinese school where they teach you Chinese language.
Okay.
And only memory I have from there
Okay.
is obviously not none of the language they taught me, but
it's me driving by doing the eyes. Yeah, okay.
it was like there was a group of us,
Yeah.
and you would go on a Sunday or whatever
Mm-hmm.
at this church, and I was like doing something during lunch. I can't remember what, like probably fucking trying to fucking whatever. And then like everyone in the, can you splice in where I say a funny line though?
Yeah,
and
for
then,
sure, man.
And then all the other people were playing like princes and kings or whatever, and like yada yada, and they're running around like I'm a prince or whatever.
Yeah.
And this girl that I liked
Oh.
was playing as a princess. And like I went up to them and be like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" They're all playing a thing, and they're like, "Yeah." And the girl was like, "Yeah, I'm the princess, and he's the prince." Like whoever, some other guy there.
Some other guy, yeah.
And all I remember saying was, "I want to be the prince. I want to be with you," sort of thing. And then like in my brain memory, like the bell goes off or something. We just go to class or whatever.
Wow, man.
But that's for some reason that's the only memory I have from this.
That's like the
Chinese
saddest thing ever.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
But honestly, I think about that so much
man.
because that's me.
That is you.
That kind of represents.
You want to be the prince.
But I want to like.
And you grew up and became a jester.
But it's more like I want to just have things that other people have, and I don't care what they think.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like
Alright.
horribly selfish. Anyway.
Yeah.
So it's Chinese school, and then I went to China twice as a kid on like the most fucking awful airplane. It makes me feel sick thinking about it now.
I'm going on a Chinese airline to the UK.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah.
What? Air China or something?
No, not Air China. It's got like a weird Henine Airlines.
All right.
Henine.
I mean, it's probably fine. It's more just like they skim on the food, and it's all uncomfortable.
Yeah. Now, Chinese Airlines, do they have a first class?
Well, I was a kid, but yeah, they would have had, because it's like it would have been like an international plane.
Yeah.
So they would have had like bigger stuff happening.
Not very communist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Actually, that's true. It's not very communist of them.
Everyone should get to fly.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh, have a go.
Everyone should get to go and fly.
Yeah. I want everyone. Yeah. But big airplane. I never got. I was always economy, way in the back.
Yeah.
Little kid. Oh, this is the thing. As a kid, I had well, this isn't about my culture, but I would have this like feeling as though like thin needles were poking me in my ear.
Oh,
as
wow.
I was flying.
Yeah.
I remember like going in the kneeling position.
Yeah.
And I must have terrified people.
And that was just acupuncture.
That was that was just my
They
mom.
were welcoming you to China. Like, hey, try some of this.
I went to China twice as a kid.
With acupuncture, you reckon when the Mongols were invading, and someone gets like shot in the back by like 12 arrows.
Yeah, they're like, ah!
Oh, that's perfect.
That's where I wanted it.
Cured my scoliosis.
Do you think I had scoliosis?
Too bad I'm going to get raped by a Mongol now.
Well, maybe, and so, then China was like crazy because you would have like horrible village alleyways that real people lived in.
Yeah.
And a parallel road right opposite is the big main street with all the shops and shit.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so it reminds me of when I went to Bali a few weeks ago, but like more insane because Bali doesn't have really civilization.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, but
that's all right.
But China has
we do have a big Balinese.
Charlie. China has a huge like skyscrapers and like shops that like look like shops here.
Advanced.
And then right next to it, it's like you go through like a metal gate. And then you're in like poor slums, and that's where everyone lives.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I went to my grandma's place, and we lived there for 2 weeks or whatever.
So you weren't in like holiday. You were slumming it with your grandma.
I was slumming it with with the mum.
Yeah.
And it was all. I mean, I can't even.
Do you like Chinese food?
Yeah, I love Chinese food.
What's a good? Do you like authentic Chinese
That's the thing.
meal?
I'm not in. I don't. Part of me wishes I had all these things, but part of me doesn't really care. But
yeah.
I just like. Yeah, it's. I guess it's like if I was an Indian guy, and it'd be like saying I love butter chicken.
Yeah, gotcha.
I know the basics.
But
I don't fuck with fucking duck necks and like fucking.
Nah, you like sweet and sour pork.
I like I like the main things. I don't like fucking chicken feet. I know fucking that crazy bitch Stella Wu fucking sucks on them. Like a maniac.
She really likes chicken feet.
She eats things with the bone. She says she's like sucking out the carcasses of the chicken hearts. Oh, ding dong.
Oh, we got the dog.
Oh, hello.
Wait, fuck off. Would you eat a dog?
Oh, that's a good. Oh, wow. What a. Oh, he's coming around this
I
way.
ask everyone that. Yeah, he goes under the bed sometimes.
hilarious.
It's a weird thing.
No, I don't think I would, but
Is that a
if-
moral thing or a taste thing?
it's more a reputation thing.
Okay, cool.
If no one could ever know,
yeah,
and I could try it, maybe I would try it.
really.
You
So
would
you're worried about people thinking? What you're worried about? What people think of you?
Are you kidding me?
Well, yeah.
You don't care about what people think
You
about you?
seem like a no holds barred. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
I'm
but not.
doing crazy stuff.
Yeah,
Who gives
but-
a fuck? You know what I mean?
But I'm not gonna like. Yeah, I'm not gonna like eat it. But then
People knowing that you've eaten a dog would affect you.
I think so. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't be so worried about what people think of me. But
Yeah,
I
because I would.
yeah.
Yeah,
Who would you?
yeah.
Have you? Do you reckon you've ever met anyone who's eaten a dog? You know, you have met someone who's eaten a dog.
Okay.
Elliot McLaren.
Really?
I think so.
Oh,
Not to
wow.
libel,
I think so.
but I remember him telling. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's true.
He also did meth.
Well, he's a naughty boy. But anyway, so that's all I remember for really. I
Yeah.
mean, there was like nothing really cultural. I'm looking at these beautiful recreated images,
I like the hats.
probably directed by like a crew of white people.
Of course.
There's probably white extras in there. They just snuck in, just like we need the numbers or whatever. But
You're
I'm
a
ju-
bit squinty.
But
Get in there.
but you know what I'm saying? It's like silk, all this shit. Like this means nothing to me.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, part of me reckons that if I was black, I would feel differently because I think this is part of my theory that I've
Yeah.
been working on. That Asian culture,
yes.
Chinese, is in the white viewpoint, which is my viewpoint,
Yeah.
not very cool.
Okay.
It's about being correct. It's about doing
Yeah.
your maths homework. It's
Okay.
about fucking being good society
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But it's boring. It's not cool.
Yeah.
But black culture,
Yeah.
that's cool.
But here's counterpoint.
Yeah.
Black people.
Yeah.
Fucking into karate and shit. Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It comes
Yeah.
back around.
Okay.
When
No.
black people like it, it's cool.
Okay, but if exactly. But if black people started liking, trying to think of an age like
But I guess it's more Japanese. Because what Wu-Tang was all about the Shaolin, and I think that was maybe. I think like Japanese probably the coolest Asian.
I have a ranking of Asians.
Okay, here we go.
But is this gonna contribute to people being like, I'm a self-hating Asian? Because
no, I
So-
think we all know that.
I think Korea number one,
Korea number one.
just based on culture.
North or south?
Okay, that's nice. But like,
They're two separate countries.
their movies. Okay, you know what?
They are.
I'll do a list
They
including.
should have separate rankings on the list because they're so different.
Okay, that's fair enough.
They're
All
very
right, all right,
different
All right. Okay,
They
so
speak different languages.
so South Korea
Yep.
number one.
Yep.
Just movies, cool,
Movies.
cool people.
Yep.
They feel violent.
Overthrowing the democracy.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
they tried to. They
Yeah.
Nipped that in the butt real quick.
Martial
Efficiency.
law.
Yep.
So-
the 4B movement.
Then I think Japan.
Japan. Yep.
Just 'cause like they're like mental
yeah.
and they're like
They're cool.
Yeah, samurai. They're cool.
They're really
Samurai.
cool. Samurais are really cool.
It's all Tokyo.
They're weird
Tokyo's
ice-
cool.
Tokyo's a really cool place.
Yeah. And then I don't really count the island Asians unless you want me to include
If
them.
you want to.
Well, I mean,
I
not
think Filipinos are probably the most talented.
in the sense of working hard.
Like I've never met a Filipino who couldn't sing.
Is Johnny Filipino?
Yes.
He probably sings.
He could probably sing good.
He's pretty talented.
You know what I mean?
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, I don't really include them in the Asians, but yeah, okay.
That's
so
cool. We're talking mainland.
We're talking mainland. So
Yeah.
I'm saying
and Japan. Yeah.
saying South Korea, Japan,
Yeah.
and then what's left? North Korea and China.
Yes.
You got to do North Korea then China.
North Korea is above China.
There's just North Korea has a culture,
Okay.
and it has like if you see footage of North Korea,
Yeah.
it's like there's something to it that's like cool.
There's
but
definitely a uniqueness.
there's a uniqueness.
I would really love to visit there.
100%.
I want to do a stand-up show.
It's I don't think you. It's 1,000% more interesting than China.
Okay.
Do you know what China's problem is?
Yeah.
It's like the fucking Coca-Cola company of races.
Okay.
It's like so. It's like
it's too dominant.
it's 1 billion people.
Yes.
There's no monoculture real except.
There is no. Yeah. It's
Or
not
it's just
monotonous.
monoculture. It's
Yeah.
like it's nothing. It's like it's an ambient,
Yes.
smoky space.
Yeah.
It's like imagine living in the middle of mainland China. you don't see a body of water for 50 years.
Yeah.
It's just nothing. Everyone is poor, and then everyone who isn't poor just works and pays half of their money to the government.
Yeah.
You just, the president lives forever there.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just nothing cool about China.
I think you've got very much a self-hating.
But I want you to come back and tell me what I'm wrong. Cause
what I find really what I like about China, I think they've got a very cool history because it's all dynasties.
Okay.
And there's a constant flow of if like the mainland can kind of is able to create a prosperous enough society to unify everything. Like it's just this pattern that goes. It's just this circular pattern where so kind of like the mainland creates a good enough like economy and makes it prosperous enough so that all the other because it's not a monocultural place.
Yeah.
Like there's different languages. You know what I mean? People from North China could not understand people from South China.
Yeah.
It's very
But
different.
Is that culture?
That is culture.
I guess
they have different foods. They have different cuisines. What we think of as Chinese food is like it's such a broad spectrum of stuff, right?
Maybe that's what it's more like. Maybe it's more that I'm not self-hating. I'm just so westernized to like an ignorant degree.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I think China's really cool. They used to have like back in the Kung Fu days.
Yeah.
Really cool.
In the old
days. You used to be able to fight someone. You used to be able to like sign a death warrant.
Wow.
They would just say, if we die in this fight, there's no legal repercussions.
Oh, that's cool. I
it's
like
all
that.
cool. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm into that.
So Kung Fu, I think them dealing with the Mongol Empire.
So what
They
happened?
got pwned a couple times.
So the Mongols were like next door, and they decided to build a wall.
Mongols were next. Yes. So Mongols were next door. They were kind of like a lot of like warring factions. Genghis Khan was an absolute fucking dog.
Yeah.
Like
Weren't there a couple Genghis Khans?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah.
there were other Khans.
Right.
But I think Genghis Khan is like a specific
No
guy.
bros? Yeah,
Huh?
okay. So Khan, yeah.
But Genghis Khan was like military fucking dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking annihilating
Yeah.
dudes, right? Knew how to fucking like horses and shit.
Yeah.
Knew how to use them. Knew how to do traps. Knew
Yeah.
how to fucking. By the way, I got
Whoa.
This was written by a Chinese guy.
Oh, yeah.
Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good read.
Even the ads have Asian people.
Yeah,
in them.
exactly. Well,
Yeah,
hey,
well-
look, welcome to.
So this is a
2024.
poetry book?
This is no, it's just instructions on how to do war.
Nice.
A lot of it's really basic.
Right.
Because it came from a time where, like, it was all more of like a
Dumpster?
caste
Oh,
system
yeah.
or like a like a fucking what's the word like it's more of a class system, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people who get put in charge of the military were just the sons of rich people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like they weren't smart.
Right.
So a lot of this is like, hey, take the high ground. You know what I mean? Here's how
Right,
because
they're all stupid idiots.
They're all just idiots who go,
Feudal, that's the word, feudal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like feudal.
yeah. They're all feudal idiots. So it's just like, in war, do this. Don't attack. At this time, don't. Confusion is bad.
Yeah.
Ordinance is good. If you can make the enemy confused, then you will win. That leads to a victory. All this stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool. Mao's a really interesting character. Like the communist revolution's really interesting. Because Mao was really good at like guerrilla fighting.
Wow.
So a lot of these, because like it's people who were good at war. So he was really good at fucking. At the same time, they were getting invaded by the Japanese.
Yeah.
And so he kind of used this. So while the Federal Army is off fucking fighting Japan and stuff, he's kind of helping out to repel Japan, but also being like, oh, here's how we can take more people and fucking,
Yeah.
I think what Mao also did was when he was doing his communist revolution,
Yeah.
like he would go to a town, he'd be like, all right, we're killing the fucking landlords.
Yeah.
Right? But he wouldn't do it with the troops, right? With his troops he brought, he would get the villagers from that town
Yeah.
to all take part in killing the,
Oh,
ruling
yeah,
class or
wow.
like the
That's very class
the
warfare.
people who were loyal. So it's like everyone's got blood on their hands.
Yeah.
Like he was good at like psychologically doing that.
Yeah.
And he chased the other fucking. I think he was more of a dictator at the time, but like he literally chased that faction into Taiwan.
Yeah.
And that's what Taiwan is now.
Oh.
Well, it's kind of evolved into more of a
Yeah,
democracy
yeah,
now.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But like, literally, like, they literally chase...
Not for long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we'll see what
So
happens
that's tells a
there.
bit.
Yeah.
I'll just say, if I was this guy's publisher,
Yeah.
birds gather on empty ground.
Yeah.
Son, is that
That's necessary.
you need that one?
Yeah. Because people don't know that.
Right.
Some fucking guy that's, gone to private school and is fucking like, smoking opium or whatever the fuck he's doing. He doesn't know that birds gather on empty ground. So he's like, there's a lot of birds there. There's probably not the enemy troops.
Okay.
But then he can be like, oh, look, there were birds here.
Yeah,
the birds are gone. I get a feeling there's probably some enemy troops around here.
Yeah, I just, papers, there's papers like not,
All of this is necessary. All right?
Right.
Let's get another short one. Throw your entire force into the fray for some grain, and you may still fail. That's life.
There you go.
That's right.
Well, that one sounds okay, but it was more the practical, the practical ones that are.
All this is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think Bibi Netanyahu read this just before he started that whole shebang?
I think so. Well, he didn't start it.
Do you think Hitler read this before he launched?
Yeah, probably. Well,
Really?
Hitler wasn't a good military guy.
He wasn't.
That was one of Hitler's downfalls.
Really?
Yeah, is that he wouldn't listen. He didn't know how to pass over control to the military.
You'd have to say that's his worst trait.
It's one of his.
Yeah.
As far as like for him achieving his goals.
Yeah.
It's one of like from a self-improvement perspective of Hitler.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of his bad traits.
Yeah, like if you were Hitler's life coach, you'd be like, work on the hate,
Yeah.
work on the meth addiction.
give up a bit of control.
Yeah, you want to, you have people
Yeah.
underneath you. That's for a reason.
Yeah,
You gotta
because
trust
that's where
them.
Stalin was good.
You gotta trust them.
Stalin knew how to be like, I'm going to listen to my generals. Stalin tried to take over at the start of the war,
Yeah.
and he was like, you're kind of fucking this up.
Yeah.
You got to chill.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I'm going to get generals I can trust.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell them what my goals are. I'm going to let them handle the war. Right? But Hitler, yeah. Well, like, Germany was never going to win World War II. They had no chance in the long run.
I mean, they were doing pretty good.
They were doing pretty well, but there's no... Look, they couldn't have done it.
Yeah, right.
Do you know where the term barbarian came from?
No.
So it was from like ancient Rome,
Yeah.
and they would have these hordes from, I think they were kind of like Germanic hordes or whatever.
I think you're meant to call them sex workers now, but yeah.
Look. So there were these, people would do, on like the phrase of the empire,
Yeah.
would try to do raiding runs or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the Romans didn't understand this language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the term barbar was making fun of their language.
Yeah, right.
These were saying barbar, and that became barbarians.
And barbarians meaning like dumb people sort of thing.
Well, like, it was like all of these people who are invading us speak this weird language you don't understand.
Yeah, right.
And so there'd be like Romans making fun of it, being like, oh, bar, like that's what they sound like.
Yeah,
like
right.
barbarians, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So it'd be like if we got invaded by Japan
Yeah.
and we're calling them Ching Chongians. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
how do you think the Ching Chong came about? What do you think that's based
That's just what you guys sound like.
hurtful.
Yeah.
Is there a one for Japanese people?
A specific one?
Yeah. Because Chink is Chinese and you got Gook, which is a Korean, I suppose.
Yeah.
But is there a differential on the Ching Chong spectrum?
I think when you're being racist, you don't differentiate.
Yeah, I would actually be... That'd be bad as a racist to...
You'd have to have a weirdly educated racist.
Yeah.
Who's going to come in and be like, hey...
Don't call that Ching Chong a Ching Chong. He's actually more of a Bing Blang.
Exactly. That's a gook, not a chink. Come on. You know what I mean? But no, I don't think so. I mean, Jap.
Yeah.
Like, that's racist.
That is racist.
It's just a shortened.
Yeah.
Right. But the Japanese were mad racist.
Were they?
Well, they hated you guys.
Yeah, they did. But I think we started, didn't we? Didn't we put poisons on them or something?
Well, yeah, I got no idea.
Didn't we run them out of some place?
No, I mean, I guess probably way back in the day, someone from China ran the Japanese to feel the need to go to this island city, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To like fuck them off, but I don't think so. I think when Japan kind of had this weird isolationist policy, and then was like, we're gonna fucking, when that stopped, they're like, all right, we got to invade everywhere.
Yeah.
They also didn't like that you guys were getting too Western influenced.
Oh yeah, well that's the whole. That's the whole. Is that the Mao thing or is that just the Xi Jinping thing?
No, so this would have been before Mao.
It was like
Or
getting
maybe
too
not.
westerny, right? And they were like, we gotta be more Oriental or whatever.
Yeah, well, I think because like Japan's perspective was like it's better that all of Asia is controlled by us other than white people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's like, oh, so China's kind of starting to be a bit cucky to America or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like it's better off we should also but they also had like a weird racial superiority
Hmm.
over you guys and stuff.
Okay.
It's also because you like all like that surrendering culture.
China surrenders a lot.
Well, to Japan had a culture of you're better off dying than surrendering.
Sabuko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Right.
So it's like when they started invading China
Yeah.
or anywhere,
Yeah.
and the Chinese, as you do sometimes in war, you got to surrender.
Sure.
They would be like, these guys are surrendering.
Is that in the Art of War, by the way? Anything about surrender?
Oh, there probably is because there was a time. Well, not surrender.
Birds flock
Retreats.
on
There's
those?
probably stuff
Oh.
about retreating.
Yeah, there you go.
Because retreating means, you can't spend your whole war, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know who was good at retreating?
Who?
The Aussies in Gallipoli.
Yeah, that's true.
We had one of the better retreatment campaigns.
Yeah.
Yeah, although we talked about this last episode.
Oh,
I want to
should-
retread old ground.
Well, what else do you want to talk about? Because I just feel like what's I want to get.
How's fame affected you?
Oh.
You get recognized a lot.
Nah, not for ages. I
The OG crew, come on, these getting views.
yeah, it's getting views. I suppose it's all right. I mean, it doesn't. Really, honestly, I haven't been recognized for many months.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really get recognized. I think it
Interesting.
was more like
Because there's a while there. Every time I was with you,
wow.
someone's coming up to you. They're
They-
like, Alan, can I get a photo?
Yeah, I think it was more to do with when Man had more like social media clips going around.
Yep, okay.
But yeah, it's going fine. I mean, yeah, the channel's going fine. It's a lot of work. It's like today I was like, today I didn't eat till like 4 o'clock because I was just doing work on my laptop for the channel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say about it.
What do you want to say to all your fans?
say, all my fans? Hey, stop watching the channel because you should do something else with your life. You should get strong.
It's like 15 minutes once a week. It's like 20 minutes.
Oh,
Why?
okay,
That's
yeah,
not-
okay,
that's
all right,
fine.
but find some time. Put
It's the same as watching a TV show.
fit it into your schedule. All right, put it
It's
into your
fine.
schedule. Yeah, thanks for
You're
the.
making people happy.
I'm making them happy.
It's in a really gay way,
Yeah, thanks for doing whatever you do. Make sure you leave a comment. Oh yeah, actually, please for the love of God, watch it because.
Do you feel like you've sold out?
No, but I understand why a fucking prick like you would ask a question like that.
Well, I'm
No,
just
no, no.
curious. I'm curious because I don't think you have.
I think it. Well, that sounds very different from what we talked last time, but I don't think it doesn't feel like selling out as much
Yeah.
because compared to the other stuff, the old stuff I was doing,
yeah.
that was like 80 degrees of.
Oh, the dad jokes and stuff.
that was like 80
Yes.
degrees of selling out.
Yeah, yeah.
But now it feels less so,
Yeah.
and also because just there I was just rocking up and doing shit.
Yeah.
But now I'm like fully.
now you're actively a part of it.
Well, yeah, I'm like helping make the whole thing, and I'm making decisions on like
Yeah.
everything. I'm working so much every day
Yeah.
that it feels like I'm earning it more,
Gotcha.
which I think
Because
contributes.
I think did this come into your mind? Because I think you as a stand up.
Yeah, mediocre.
No, interesting.
Sure.
You're kind of alty.
Okay.
You push boundaries.
Great.
But not in like an offensive way. In like what you challenge what the medium of stand up can be.
Wow.
Like you seem to get excited off of doing a bit. You don't want to get laughs a traditional way.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right,
I think that's true.
So how did it feel going from that
To dad jokes.
and to dad jokes? Yeah.
Not great.
And did it feel weird that was what gave you all this success?
No, it didn't surprise me, or it surprised me that obviously happened because it's like a
Yes.
crazy thing. But
Yeah.
the fact that something like that could go viral or have like appeal to like a mass audience didn't surprise me
Yeah.
because that sort of stuff does that.
Yeah, of course.
It's something
Yeah.
like well, I don't know. It's like
it makes sense that becomes popular.
so
for
I
sure,
that
yeah.
didn't surprise me or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Do you worry that people
yeah,
are going
yeah,
to...
yeah, I do. And the problem with that is that Well, it's like that's why we're trying to do none of that
Yeah.
on the new one.
Yeah.
And even though it's not, but it's still it's all right.
Yeah.
And and here's a scoop. We have an idea for a dad jokes video.
Oh, we got a scoop.
Here's a scoop.
Okay.
Can we play the scoop music?
It's going to go over it
okay.
right now. Blah, blah, blah.
Scoopy,
Scoopy doopity doop. It's the Alan Scoop Hour.
There is an idea for a dad jokes video floating around,
Ooh,
but it's a
wow.
little bit different.
Yeah.
And I think you're gonna enjoy it a lot. But it's like, we're just trying to like do stuff that like we enjoy doing that still has that air of whatever the sort of content is.
Yeah.
But it's not so like, I don't know, simple.
It's not simple. Yep. There's a bit of.
There's an idea. I want to say it. Don't force me to say it, but there's an idea that involves doing dad jokes, but it's not just doing the dad. There's some other thing happening.
Yes.
Okay, there's another layer.
Yeah.
Of the dad jokes.
There's another layer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a scoop. But originally I didn't want to do dad jokes for a long time, but there is.
It convinced you.
It convinced me because the idea is a
the idea was.
It was Akila's idea.
Oh well, in that case, it's going to be great.
Well, what do you think about my friend Akila?
Akila?
Yeah.
I think he's a really nice guy.
Because there's something.
I like him.
Yeah, but there's not something wrong with him.
There's clearly something wrong with him.
Something he hides, like he hides it well.
I think it's one of those things where like a lot of people do in comedy, like the reason they kind of do comedy and that weirdness within them and that kind of that weird, they're like isolated and like I feel like you're isolated.
Sure, yeah.
From people, and comedy's your way of branching out,
right?
And it's almost I don't want autism is such a broad thing, But it's like
you're saying I'm autistic.
Well, I see it to myself as well, where it's like I know humor, is such a clear response communication, right? You say something funny, they laugh. You have achieved your goal, right?
Yeah.
So because it's that. Like I have a much easier way communicating with people through humor, and that's what kind of pushed me towards comedy. While when I talk to people about things that aren't funny, I get insecure about the conversation. I don't know why we're speaking. I don't know if they like it. I don't know if I'm meant to like it.
Do you feel like that? You get much of your self value or your self value from comedy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I have now. I think it's bad.
Yeah, it's not healthy.
It's not healthy at all.
But before that, you would just be basing it on social interaction, which is almost more dangerous, I think.
I think I would still base it on like comedy, but like day-to-day comedy.
But you know what I'm saying? Where you'd be like
being funny.
That's what I'm saying. Like you'd base it on.
It's probably worse if you base it on.
Because I would do that before I started comedy, where I would base my self-worth on, was that a good interaction? Did I make my fucking teacher laugh? Like all this sort of like insane shit.
Yeah.
And it's the same, and you can see it. Where it's the same calculation you're making. But at least now you have a bit more of a nicer. I think, for me at least, it works for me because it's a bit of a nicer, simpler life.
You can separate it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You can separate it, but that's where I'd be funny, and then I might be funny, but I'm not hinging on my self-worth to be like, I bombed that conversation.
Yeah.
Which before comedy, you'd worry about you'd bomb a conversation.
Which I still think about that stuff. But
yeah, definitely. But like it's...
Yeah, exactly.
You're still confident that like you're funny because you know you can make people laugh on this, you know what I mean?
So how long have you been doing comedy now?
2.5 years or so.
2.5 years.
I want to talk about a killer.
Oh, please, go on.
Because there's people like us...
Oh.
Where I think I can tell what's wrong.
Oh, I see.
I can tell there's something wrong. There's a lot of other people who, whether it's stuff that's happened in their past, and like they get why they kind of need this rush. It's like a rush. It's a little hit. You can tell. And there's people like a killer where it's like you should be out being happy. Yeah. Like you seem like you could just be happy living. Yeah. You know?
And that's the...
and it's weird.
Yeah.
And I think it means there's something much darker within them that we can't see.
I think so, but then that's what I remember, that's why I distinctly remember thinking when I first started taking photos. Yeah. And like meeting comedians, whatever that meant. Yeah. And be like, oh, everyone's going to be like drunk and on drugs and like have like fucking issues. And then when I started talking to all of them, they were like, oh yeah, like I went on a walk and I try to get enough vitamin D in the morning, whatever. Yeah. And it's like, what I thought was cool to comics was like being fucked up and shit. which is what you think from like America.
Yeah.
But actually, what's perceived as cool now is to be like healthy and like
Yeah, definitely.
healed.
Yeah.
So that's what I think in terms of like when I see all these other comics, they're like big dogs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Sam Taunton or whatever. Sorry, Sam Taunton. But you know,
He is listening.
to be like, oh, that guy must be fucked up. But I think there are probably just people in comedy who are just like chill.
But even people that are chill, I can still see a little bit of it.
Yeah, like who?
Huh? I don't know. Like Tavis.
Oh no, I definitely
Tavis is
see
a
what's
beautiful man.
no.
You know
but
what I mean?
I know what's wrong with
But
him.
I know what's wrong with him.
Yeah, but that's not the same as a killer. Or Sam Taunton. I'm talking about like someone like maybe Riv. Like Riv's well adjusted. He's got a family.
Yeah.
He's like got a good job. He's like great guy. He's
He
good-looking
seems
dude.
happy. He seems like a good
beautiful
guy.
wife.
Exactly.
So I don't really know why he.
But he is Indian.
Yeah, that's true.
So every dog has its day.
Yeah, every but a dog.
Every buttered chicken has its naan. No, but like, yeah, exactly. There's people like Riv where it's like, you see me like you'd be happy.
Yeah. Well, what's wrong with you then? Tell me what all the things that are wrong with you.
Oh, I got a lot.
Go. Listen. We'll go band for band.
We'll go band for band.
Yeah.
I think I got very low self-confidence.
Yeah.
I am an attention
Yeah.
whore.
Yeah.
I know that, and I hate that about
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I hate the fact
Yeah.
that I get off on attention so
Yeah.
much. So when I am getting attention, every now and then I'll check myself and I'll be like, "What a fucking little faggot," you know what I mean?
Well,
Very
no, you
fucking-
shouldn't be saying any of those words. But
Why
yeah, I know
not?
what you're saying.
Why not?
I agree with what the
People are calling me a bisexual.
I agree. The sentiment of which you are talking
Well,
of.
all right, we got fucking PC Alan over here.
Yeah. PCCP. Yeah.
CCPP.
CCPC.
Yeah, man.
PC. All right, that's the thumbnail. But anyway, so yeah. and
But so it's like, so I've got all of that.
Yeah.
I think I think I'm ugly,
wow.
which people have said I'm not, but
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't think I'm good looking. I think I definitely thought I was ugly as a
Yeah.
kid. So I think,
No, you're.
I think I've always been fat.
Yeah.
I've had periods where I'm actually not as fat, where I've
Sure.
actually not been fat.
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
look
yeah,
back, but I
yeah,
still
yeah,
thought I
yeah,
was
yeah,
fat.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I was fat as a kid.
Wow, this is horrible. This
so
is
I
like
had that.
you're
right?
a sick individual.
I when I also like, especially I think like I went through puberty about year 5 or like year 6.
yeah.
Like I started getting hairy. I started like sweating weird. I
Mm.
started all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I did it at such an age before everyone else.
Yeah.
I really started to feel freakish.
Wow.
Like I think I was definitely a bit of a freak. So I think that's kind
Wow.
of stuck with me
Yeah.
mentally.
Yeah.
I also don't understand people too well.
Yeah.
So my
Totally.
analogy I always use is when I was growing up, I felt like everyone else had gotten the handbook on how to socialize.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hadn't got it. And I felt this weird disconnect. Right? So I feel like that's kind of stayed with me. I also think my life's pretty good.
Okay.
Like if you look at it objectively,
right.
from like square one,
Sure.
parents still together, very supportive household.
Yeah. Right.
Upper middle class. I went to a nice school, mainly white people, so it was safe.
Yeah.
Of
course.
like a country town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I grew up like I could right now I could be a tradie that plays footy on the weekends,
Yeah.
and I could have a lovely wife, and I
Yeah.
could have barbecues that are fun.
Sure.
And I know that that would never do it for me. You know what I mean? So I had that. I started getting depressed at like age 13 or 14 or so.
Jeez.
I kind of gave up on ever figuring out people.
Wow.
So I wanted to be a great football player. That was going to
Yeah.
be my replacement
Yeah.
for like knowing how to deal with people. So it's all of this sort of stuff.
I don't need friends. I kick ball.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Exactly that. I'm like, if I can be great, people will respect me. You know what I mean? And that's all I'll need.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
So I had like that sort of thing. I was also like weirdly, not artsy, but I had this acting stuff that was just, you know, in the
Alright,
country
we
it's
wouldn't
really
go into
gay and
everything,
stuff.
but that.
So I guess that's what's wrong with me.
Yeah. Well, I won't go through my list because it'll just be the exact same.
Yeah, well,
list.
you know, that's why
But
that's why it hurt me when, you know, you hated me so
Oh,
much.
I see.
Because
Yeah,
I could see
yeah.
that we were going through the same
so
thing.
similar, but this guy. But that's the same thing. It's like I was the immigrant that got in through the border,
Yeah.
and what I did was I looked
Shut
behind
the
me.
door.
I saw you coming.
You know what I mean?
And I immediately dug the well. I flooded the well.
Yeah.
So you couldn't
So
come
I
up
so I
through
would
it.
drown. Yeah. Fantastic. But yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
But yeah. What do you think of this CEO shooting? You got a hot take
oh,
on
here we
that?
go. So you want to do a couple quick
We'll
fire?
we'll fire off. We'll switch it up.
CEO fire.
Yeah. Do you think the guy was
I
hot?
think it's no. I think it's like it's actually quite a mental disability for all these people to be like, oh yeah, the guy should have been killed, and like people that's like pro Luigi and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's like fucking crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You've never wanted to kill someone?
I've wanted to, but if I did, I would want everyone to hate me because I think that's like fucking crazy. I'm trying to think of like who, like, do you think they would do that if Trump got killed by that kid?
I think a couple people. I don't think it would be as widespread.
Well, he wouldn't have been called good looking because he was like a mate.
He was ugly.
He was ugly.
That's his problem.
Wow. So yeah, maybe it's like if John Lennon's killer, what's his name, Gacy or something?
No,
Or that's someone else.
That's a serial killer.
But like if he was good looking, maybe people wouldn't have minded that he killed.
I think Lee Harvey Oswald wasn't a bad looking fella.
No, he was a good looking fella.
But he didn't kill. He was a patsy.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like, but JFK was so well liked. This guy is like a fucking
JFK
greedy.
was hot as well. Yeah,
This
exactly.
is a greedy like healthcare worker.
Exactly. I think, but I feel like because the difference from like Trump being shot is that when this healthcare guy got shot, it was like, some people were saying it's good that he died. More people should go out and kill these type of people, right? And then there was also this group of people who were like, I don't think people should get killed, but I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable position to sit in.
To say what if he?
I don't think
Right,
people should
right.
go out and kill
But-
people,
but-
but I'm glad the guy's dead.
But it's not like he is the Trump of the healthcare. So it's like he's just a leech. He's just one of 50,000 leeches.
I
who
understand that.
are trying to get as
but
much
maybe
profit.
all
for
the
this.
leeches should die.
Well, they should, but killing one leech won't. You want to put poison in the water to kill all the leeches.
But I feel like it did for at least a couple of there were a couple decisions made.
Yeah,
from
and
other healthcare,
like the hospitals weren't gonna like charge you for like doing shit.
The anesthesia stuff.
Yeah,
or
it was
whatever.
at the time
You
of
know
the
what I mean?
anesthesia
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
I think people are at a point where they're like, even if it won't create actual change, we're just excited that a bunch of fucking CEOs are scared. You know what I mean? Like they should feel what it feels like. You know?
Okay, I can
Right?
dig that. I can
Because
dig
there's so many people in America who, whether they're related to someone or they know somebody,
Yeah.
if they know someone whose mum got sick,
Yeah.
and now now the family's poorish. You know what I mean? They know they know someone who had to they know a doctor who's had to go back and forth with the coverage for like weeks, being like, this person needs this.
Well, I have two things on that. I think that but it's like a very anti-rich sentiment.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing we were talking about earlier, which is that, but if you can leapfrog and jump out of that, you would be doing the exact same bullshit.
Oh, exactly. You know what I mean?
And also, I always think about America as like a lost leader.
Okay.
In terms of like, particularly like something like healthcare.
Yeah.
Because their thing costs so much and is shit house, and so many people die because they can't go to the doctor because it costs them like $50 or whatever.
Yeah.
But they like produce a lot of shit
Yeah.
and like get a lot of shit out of the way, like different surgeries or like sort of like fucking vaccines or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't think they can improve by becoming a socialist medical system or healthcare system.
Okay.
I think they have to stick with their shitty system, and loads of them will die. But the world gets the benefit.
The rest of the world gets the benefit.
That's how
a
I've
good way of
always
looking at it.
looked at their thing. But yeah, okay. So yeah, I think it's bad that they killed the guy, but I can understand why people like it.
I also think it's just a trade-off. Is like when you become like a billionaire,
Yeah.
or even like millionaire,
Yeah.
you get to be rich as fuck.
Yeah.
But people kind of feel good when you die, and that's a fair trade-off.
That's not a bad trade-off, I suppose.
That's a great trade-off. That just means people aren't going to care when you die.
Yeah.
Deal with it, or don't be a billionaire. Right?
Do you think
There's
that?
pros and cons with everything.
Do you think that? How about this? If you think that you're ugly,
Yeah.
do you get angered at good-looking people?
Because
Because I had this thing where particularly if I see a good-looking guy
Yeah.
who's my race,
Yes.
fucking a demon.
Oh, really? It's
If I
a
see
racial thing.
Well, I don't. But if I see a good-looking guy, I'm like, fuck that guy, whatever.
Yeah.
But if I see a
That's why you were
good-looking-
mean to Tavis when he started.
If that's what. But it's like if that's why if I see a good looking guy and he's Asian,
Yeah. You
I'm
get
li-
annoyed.
I'm like rage. I'm filled with rage.
Yeah. There's some cool looking Asians out there.
There are so many good looking Asians.
Yeah.
I'm just not one of them.
You
But-
could be. You got a cute.
You think has Tavis talk shit about me?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, of course.
Damn.
Well, you didn't treat him well.
No. Well, I mean, each to their own. But
You know what I mean? I was
Well,
the first guy to be nice to Tavis at like Nags. Of course, I thought he was cute. You know what I mean? Like, it's the world we live in.
Oh, I feel so. Yeah, I mean, well, it's good that I had this podcast though, because now I'm really like learning a lot about my reputation in the scene and my behavior.
But I think it's also like you're also a shelled person.
Okay, go into that. What does that mean?
Well, it just means if someone tries to talk to you, you're a little bit shelled off.
Oh, true.
You're not very open to a
No,
conversation.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And also, if I'm going to a thing, I like talking to my friends.
Yeah.
Like comedy's
But
hard.
what about making friends?
Yeah, and I've made friends when the vibe is right.
Yeah, okay.
But if I can't make friends with you, if you're like first time open mic and you go, hey, let me ask you 14 questions about your life. But if I'm sitting down, I'm looking at my phone, Jude sits next to me and he goes,
Yeah.
hi, Alan, or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll talk to him for ages.
Yeah, so it's a
And
racial thing.
Oh, true.
That's what
When
you're
I put it
saying.
like that, it is a bit
You
racial.
go right to Jude.
That's true.
We got to get Jude. Jude refuses to come on the pod.
What's Jude doing at the
He's
moment?
in Hong Kong.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Protesting?
No, I think he's
Oh.
with family and stuff.
That's
Are they still
interesting.
protests going on in Hong Kong?
Well, I think it'll keep going because they're not a thing yet.
It'll never stop. Yeah.
It'll never stop.
Yeah.
But what were we talking about? Yeah, so okay, we're going to go through more viral like things happening. Like
Well, yeah. What else is happening in the world right
Tour
now?
coin.
Hawk Tour. You're like in the same realm as Hawk Tour.
I was trying to pitch an OG crypto rug pull a couple weeks ago.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, man.
Well, I just think it's interesting. What? Yeah. Well,
I feel like if you guys got like you guys got charged with like a rug pull,
what would be the coolest stuff?
and you
that-
just send Hemo to prison so he can get another hour. You know what I mean?
yeah. He is running out of material. What would be stuff that the OG crew would happen to the OG crew that you'd be like, holy, that's insane that they like. I guess like
If you're on Talk Tour, I'd watch. I've never watched a single Mad or OG like full content.
yeah, no. why
I'd
would
watch
you?
the full podcast.
Would you buy if you all join Cameo? Would you buy some of our cameos?
I think surely I could get a freebie. Come on.
Yeah, I guess that's not a very good question. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. But like,
I think you could definitely get cameos. You guys should be on Cameo.
that's crazy.
You get some money off Cameo.
I've never gone Cameo.
Yeah, but
Andrew went on Cameo.
Fucking $7 to say happy birthday to some guy in India or whatever.
Yeah, but it's a bit like celebrity begging, I think.
Yeah, but you are a celebrity,
Yeah, that's true.
and you're just monetization.
And I am
You know
begging.
what I mean?
Now,
Now, if the Luigi guy can get on Cameo,
what?
he'd
Imagine
make some cash.
Now imagine a Luigi rug pull,
Luigi coin,
a Luigi coin.
CEO murder coin.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
That's pretty good.
No longer United Healthcare.
And like as he's like promoting it, he's somehow saying it's going to help healthcare.
yeah,
You know, and it just boom to zero. Like so, yeah. I think I you know what? When the Hawk Tour girl did the rug pull,
Yeah.
I respected her.
really?
Yeah.
Do you think it's over for her?
No.
Wow.
No, it's like go get your bag. Get the cash.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody.
Did you listen to the Twitter Spaces thing?
No.
It's like her and then the two people who are clearly actually in charge of the crypto thing.
Yes.
And they're like, some like guys like, oh, you fucking rug pulled a scam or something.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, this is not a scam. You should be thanking me. You should be kissing my ass because I got people who never had cryptocurrency to invest in crypto, and we're creating a community right now.
Yeah,
And
gotcha.
he was going crazy.
Yeah.
So I think that she's over, but she was saying in the thing like she got paid like $125,000
yeah.
to do like the marketing essentially.
Yes.
So like free money
Yeah.
basically. And then she has like a bunch of it that she can't sell for a year, but it's all gonna go to shit.
yeah, of
So
course.
she won't actually have any of it.
I think what she needs, what's going to happen to her, is she's gonna make some money off this.
Yeah.
She's gonna like buy a nice sort of house in like Texas or somewhere in the south.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Because she's a southern girl, like New Orleans or something,
Yeah.
right? And then like in she's just gonna be she's just gonna be a weird rich person. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to be a regular at, like, a cafe.
She'll be the island
And the
boys.
baristas are going to be, like, talking. And it's like, do you know what she does? She doesn't seem to work. She's like, yeah, she was the Hawk Tour girl.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like, someone who's, like, younger is going to be like, what's Hawk Tour? And it's like, oh, you weren't there.
Yeah.
And someone's going to show them the clip and be like...
And I'll be there next to her, and I'll be like, "Oh, you remember her from Hawk Tour?" She's like, she was doing it at the same time I was doing dad jokes. She's familiar with
Yeah, man.
With
Do you want to buy dad joke coin? But yeah, you should go. What should you guys do?
Well, I was
live tour.
Yeah.
Whereas just you guys on stage for an hour filling time.
Yeah, like,
that's pretty fun.
What do you think? Do you have something funny to say? Yeah. Well, we talked about doing a live show. I think that's like a good way to make money.
Yeah.
So that'd be fun.
Can I open if you guys do a live tour?
Or nah, I might ask Tavis.
Yeah, get Tavis. Get Shiro.
I'll get
he's available, I hear.
Did you talk to him about that voice?
Yeah.
What did he say about it?
He said, because I was there when it really stuck in.
Yeah.
And you're partly to blame for it, actually.
That's what people say.
You're partly to blame for this.
I loved it.
It happened at Sumo.
What? Oh, because he did when it was an open mic.
He when Sumo was an open mic.
Yeah.
He crushed with the voice.
Wow.
And ever since then, he did it sometimes.
Also, you talk about me being bullying. You are the group of friends who fake round of applause for comedians as well.
Yeah, exactly.
To trick them into thinking they have good bits.
But that is engaging with them.
Okay.
The fact that you wouldn't engage with anybody.
Yeah.
I think it's...
You're saying it's better to stab someone than turn away from them.
It's better to look someone in the eyes and say you're terrible
it's not
than to not look them in the eyes at all.
It's better to trick a...
Because that's what they want. Because everyone knows they're bad.
Right.
Most people know they're bad.
I don't think... But okay, that's the problem with you, and that's the difference.
Okay.
I think most people think they're good.
Then they should know that they're bad.
But that's why...
They should know that they're bad.
But we just have different tactics. You have your tactic is to tell them straight up like an asshole.
Yeah.
And you're going to be the next United Healthcare CEO.
No, not at all, man.
Luigi'd by this guy.
I'm up front.
And then I'm the one... I just walk away. That's so bad?
Yeah, but that feels worse.
Maybe.
I'd rather be terrible at comedy.
Yeah.
And then everyone be like, man, that fucking sucked. And I'm like, I know I sucked.
Yeah.
Because if people are open and honest like that at an open mic as well, then they know that pretty much almost everyone sucks.
Yeah.
And we're all in the same boat of sucking.
Yeah.
And accept it and get in the boat.
Maybe, yeah.
Right?
Fresh off the boat.
But you're like, it felt like if I made eye contact with you, it was an insult. Right?
Okay, this is your projecting
and
now.
This was
at this
before
point.
the fame as well, which is crazy. This was you. This was Alan fresh off getting booked twice at Kinsella's. You know what I mean? That was the power and the ego I gave you, man.
I got Kinsella's way late. This is me after getting Canteen.
Oh, well,
remember that room?
Yeah, never did.
Oh, you really?
I did the open mic there.
Oh, that was great.
I also remember this.
Please.
Okay. Canteen open mic. It's my first time emceeing. Okay, it's my first time emceeing.
Yeah.
All right. The entire crowd is me, my wife, and the comic that's on next, and everyone else is out the back smoking. Okay. Everyone else is out the back smoking.
Those are the best times.
If I wasn't the biggest pussy little open micer, what I should have done is left 3 acts in and just said, "Fuck it, you guys do this. I'm not going to MC."
Oh, you were the host. Sorry, yeah.
I was the host,
yeah.
right? So we should have said, you know what? Goodbye. Do continue. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Fuck you guys.
That would have been pretty crazy.
This
But
is
yeah,
terrible, right?
okay.
No, that would have been the thing to do. Okay. I've been to bad canteens. This was the worst one.
Yeah, it was pretty
Everyone's
bad
outside smoking. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's me, my wife. The next act's fucking. You know what I mean? I'm nervous because it's my first time in seeing and all this shit. Right? It's just terrible. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh no.
You come on.
No. Am I first?
No.
Okay.
You're 5th or some shit.
Okay. Don't tell me.
You do 20.
Oh yeah.
You do 20 minutes.
I remember that gig.
To me, Emily, and Adam Grapsh.
Yeah. No, I remember that gig. That was when there was 3 weeks where me and Huey were trying to go longer than each other.
We're doing 20, yeah.
So he would do 20 and then I would try and do 21 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
For literally the amusement of no one, and Mark McIsaac's sitting in the thing, and I remember thinking like, I remember telling everyone, I'm going to do 20, I'm going to do 20, I'm going to do 20.
Yeah.
And then I heard, oh yeah, Pat G's coming. I'm like, I'll just do 3. But that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But my thing with that, this makes me come across so bad.
No, go on with it.
But it's like, you should be using open mics for whatever you want. And if the room runner is so fucking such a delinquent that he'll let you do 21 minutes, you should fucking do 21 minutes. In spite of everyone, because who the fuck cares about an open mic? This is the same thing with fucking sumo. It was like, we were just like, it was just like a generic open mic.
Yeah.
And then it started getting some people, and so many of the actual like insane people.
Yeah. Every single comic.
And then
comes,
me and Akila started like emceeing it ourselves and like doing a whole thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's the same with all the other, other rooms like Scruffy's. Scruffy's was kind of a shithole, but
I understand that. I understand if you're the room runner or if whatever the room runner will like let you do it.
Yeah.
There were times when Huey did like 20 minutes.
Yeah, insane.
And there were people there.
Yeah.
And Huey's like good enough where like it was fun enough. It didn't destroy it. He wasn't making people walk or whatever. Okay.
Okay.
You're doing it to 3 comics. You're doing it to 3 comics who could not be more bored. I don't understand. What skill are you developing from doing 20 minutes to fucking me and Makaiser?
When 7 of the minutes is me kind of just riffing on like, okay, let's get 21 minutes, guys.
It's you doing crowd work, okay? You're like, I have to fill this 20 minutes. It's like, what are you talking about, dog? You do not. You just... You're filling time. No one's asking you to do the time, right? It's not. No one asks you, and it's also you're not developing a skill. It's us looking at you bored.
Yeah.
Being like, go or like stop.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's me lighting you. It's at 12 and just waving it, and you being like, no, man. Huey said I could do 20.
I got 9 more minutes in me.
I got 9 minutes, and you don't. You know what I mean? You're not doing bits. You're just kind of like looking around, like, man, look at this curtain. You know what I mean? So what are you doing, bro? What are you learning from this?
On a string. I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? It's disrespectful.
Yeah, it is. It is disrespectful
to everyone there.
But you know what? I fucking disrespect you, cunt.
Yeah, I know. And now look at you. You're a fucking hack sellout piece of shit. All right, you fucking dancing for the people, man. All right, you're doing dad jokes.
But that's the what open mics creates in you.
It doesn't have to, okay? The open mic scene now, because you and Huey phrase it as like, oh, it's just the open. That's what open mics are like, man. The open mics now, they're so much nicer. People, the room runners are nice. They're not cunts. You know what I mean? They like apologize. You know what I mean?
What was New Wave like for you?
Huh? New Wave was okay for me because
because you were respected.
I was in the middle.
Oh, okay. So here we go.
I was in the middle.
So you don't like the metocracy, this fake fiefdom bullshit that we create. But then when you're on the upside, it's not that bad actually. When I think about it.
No, I wasn't on the upside. I had a lot of problems. Okay, I had a problem when there's like a guy.
Yeah.
There's like a gay guy doing comedy for the first time.
Okay.
And he brought like all these friends who are all these women who are like these pretty good looking women. I think it was a bit of a cheerleader effect going on. I don't remember everyone was talking about how good looking these ladies are, right? Right. So Huey goes up there. He's emceeing.
Oh, he's
right?
a maniac.
Old Huey, fucking boner popping out the jeans,
yeah.
right? He does 20 at the top.
Yeah, that's
right?
pretty bad.
First act goes on. The first act does 15 because that was the way the room.
That was
the
way.
My dog just wants to leave. Hold a second.
Yeah.
So the first act does like 15. And you're meant to respect this person who's also bombing because the audience is terrible. And you're just being like, oh, anyway, fuck it, I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
You're fucking waiting to get on.
Yeah.
Huey does another 20, okay?
Yeah.
Just crowd work, just talking to the girls,
Hot
right?
chicks, of course, why not?
So it's like, fuck off you.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? People got places to go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a laugh in.
Yeah.
All right? So, but like, it's also like... There was no need. It just created a bad mood for the whole room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a dark time.
And also, I remember I was put on last one time.
Okay.
Because you wanted to lift the laughing. Okay. And this was not communicated to me until the end of the show. All right? And the way this show worked is there was no list. It was Huey coming around and pointing at you and saying, "You're next. You're the next funniest guy in the room." You know what I mean? You are slightly less funny than the guy that's on now, and you get to go on next, all right? So I'm waiting around, and normally I'm the middle or whatever. I'm around with Tavis, you know what I mean? I'm a little bit after, I'm like around where Lachlan is, right?
Yeah.
Fucking insane, all right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the most.
Yeah. And it wasn't good.
Yeah.
It wasn't good for people. It
wasn't a good show.
It was you performing to the worst, not even worse, the new people.
Yeah.
And some of the worst as well.
Yeah.
And they all like are just bored and they kind of
Yeah.
hate you because they
Yeah.
figured out the
Yeah.
jip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
I think I had one good show there.
Yeah.
Right?
And then you're about to go on and like, oh, hang on, Elderwood has to come and do 10.
Yeah, exactly. So
14 acts in for no reason. He has to do 10.
But even then, the way you had like 4 or 5 people doing 15 at the top, and there's cunts waiting
It
to
was
do
insane.
5,
It was
and
insane.
it's their 3rd time doing comedy.
Yeah.
And it's like I gotta wait to see these people who are fucking good or whatever. It's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who started comedy after
And
you?
it
And
was
like,
also, but it was like it was conducive to like the way you and Huey's worldview, where it's like you don't talk to the new people, you don't acknowledge that they exist. All right.
all right, well, I wasn't as bad as Huey on that
Keanu
regard.
was doing comedy for like a month. I never
Yeah.
met him. All right. I didn't know who the fuck this cunt was, and he knew who I was because I was.
Because he was like, that guy goes 4 places in front of me.
Because he's like, that guy goes up in the middle of the show. I go up at the end of the show. So he doesn't know who he's never seen me do comedy. You know what I mean? And he's like, what was your, I was like, what was your first gig at like Crown or something? He's like, no, I did New Wave for like months. And I'm like, what?
I remember this story. It happened to Tavis.
Yeah.
And then Tavis is there for the first time and he like doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So he goes up to Huey and he's like, so how does this like work? Like, is there a lineup
Yeah.
or whatever? And then the way Tavis is just like Huey turns to him and goes, with the cigarette in his hand, he goes, "You'll figure it out soon."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It
That's
was.
what would happen.
It was pretty awful.
That's what would
That.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty awful.
It's pretty bad.
But that's what like comedy. Yeah, I really went on a real villain arc of
Yeah.
like ego out of control and like starting this insane fiefdom room
the
that
way that room was set up
dynamic. It
to
was
perform to nobody is what's so crazy.
and
right?
weeping if you're funny.
Exactly. It's Alan deciding if you're funny or not. It's like, oh no, this is terrible. And it's like, it's to perform to nobody. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there were audience, if you could get at least 10 audience, and you say, hey, the show's going to be good at the start, and then you
Yeah.
guys could leave and whatever, that's okay. But just like the fact that it's just comics,
Yeah.
and it's just people like looking around being like, oh man, I had a good set last, I thought I was funny last time. Am I going to jump this guy? Oh, no, not yet. You know what I mean?
And I'll say the majority of that list was literally just like, oh yeah, him. Like there was no real
There was
actual
no thought in it at all.
meritocracy.
Come on. It was people you already knew and were like, yeah, fuck it, we'll give it to this guy. A fucking insane way. Just fucking, like, it drew everyone into your level of being like, I can't talk to that guy.
That guy's below me.
That guy's 28th. I'm 19th. If I talk to the 28th guy, I might get grouped in, bro. I got to talk to people of my station, all right? And I'm not allowed to talk to fucking Elderfield. You know what I mean? He's doing 15.
They're all in the couch area in the back
exactly.
corner.
They're on the couch.
You're
area.
going to the side
You know what I
bits.
mean? Yeah, exactly. Bro, I'm not going to dare look at Sam Kizuchuki. You know what I
Oh
mean?
god.
He's going to hate, you know what I mean?
Oh god.
Insane way to do things.
What a horrible
An
room.
insane way to do things.
I will.
And now all the open mics now, look, yeah, sure, they shit, they have no audience.
Well, yeah. What are
But
they like?
people are smiling.
Yeah, I haven't really
People
been
are
to them.
talking to each other. And
So
the
it's
people that have
nicer.
been doing comedy for longer,
Yeah.
they're talking to the people that
But
are new.
who's the oldest guy who's still going? Lockheed, like really, like, and he doesn't even really go to the
My
main.
house doesn't really go. It's probably, I guess it's me.
I've stopped just because of time, but I would go if I had time properly.
Yeah.
And I should go more next year, but like, who's like there isn't really any. You're the.
It's probably
you and-
me. I'm probably the old
Yeah,
Tavis. Me and
so-
Tavis.
So it's just you guys. I mean.
Yeah, I know. But it's like when people start and they want to know about comedy, you
Yeah.
help them out.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, it doesn't take that much time.
yeah.
To say, hey, you should go to a lot of mics. There's
there's just something in me that's just like I just can't have another conversation where guys like, yeah, so how did you get into this? How did you get into all?
Yeah, but what, do you think you're a treat to talk to?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm thinking that, and I'm like, Yeah, what about this? I'm asking, what about this Trump thing for the 5th time that week? Yeah.
But yeah,
What a crazy world.
yeah,
I will say, like, comedy is like the craziest thing to be involved in.
yeah,
In that it gives you this quote unquote power, this confidence, this like feeling of your inadequacy,
yeah.
this constant comparing yourself to
Yeah.
others, your friends.
But it's also like the moment you get that confidence,
Yeah.
I had it for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's like you start doing better gigs.
And then you bump down again.
And
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but it's like you shouldn't look as like you bump down. It's like, no, there's so many levels to this.
No, that's what I mean. Like in your like esteem level.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you get
you go like,
you're
okay,
humbled.
I'm still working.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm still working. So there's people who are so much, their bits are so much better. They're so much funnier. There's
Yeah.
so much to learn from. Just fucking relax.
And that's what I needed. And then I got that, and now I'm much better.
well, I know much better.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Or anything else?
I don't know. I feel like I haven't learned a lot about the Han Dynasty.
Well, so
This is a bad
what
documentary.
What happened when? Yeah, this is really like a lot. You could get all of this from like Artlist.io.
It's a lot of stock footage.
So what
Yeah.
was playing when Fadi was here?
Gallipoli.
Is
Gallipoli.
he-
He's Turkish.
Oh, he is Turkish.
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Did you know a lot about it?
No.
Oh,
But he's good at just kind of. Fadi talks with confidence
yeah, he does.
about
talk with
things he doesn't
confidence.
know.
Yeah.
And it was. I knew a bit, so it kind of made it good. You know?
Well, I just have no.
Do you like history at all or not at all?
I like bits. I like modern history.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I
I'm
like
more of a modern history
the
guy.
60s
Mm-hmm.
and the 70s.
Okay, that modern.
Yeah, that modern.
When do you think modern history started?
This is the thing of like, like with video games. Like, I don't like Red Dead. I don't like any of the ones where you're on a horse or you're like, I like a car.
you like it fast.
I like technology.
Yeah.
I like interiors.
Okay.
I like tech. I
Yeah.
like new.
Yeah.
So,
Is that Chinese? Come on.
well, but I don't know anything really. Like, this map looks insane to me. Like, I don't even know what these
Really?
Persia, Scythia, like what?
Persia's like Iran now,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
obviously Arabia is the Middle East.
yeah.
And then
Is that
it's just-
Africa?
well, this is the roots. Yeah. Then it goes to Africa. There's Ethiopia.
Have you visited any of these countries?
I not really. I've been to as far as Europe. I've only been to Macedonia and Montenegro.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really
That's my
traveled
wife's
really.
connection. Yeah. I've been to Japan.
Yeah,
Japan's really cool.
I like Doctor Who.
You like Doctor Who?
Does that help?
I'm not a Doctor Who guy.
Well, what's something that we like to talk about?
Oh, you know, you're like a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's
Pretty
your
interesting. Did you went to film school?
Yeah, I went to a shitty film school.
Watch film school. Call them
Oh
out.
no, they were good people, but it just wasn't a good time.
Yeah. Okay.
I went to AFTT.
Yes.
I shouldn't say that probably because I'm friends with someone who works there. But
That's all right.
it was alright. It was just like I didn't really have a great experience there.
I feel like
paid
my
30 grand for
experience
it.
doing student films,
Yeah.
AFTT wasn't great
Yeah, they were pretty dog
as far
shit.
as organization and stuff. There's some good guys, but it's just like, yeah.
No, there are like successful people who come out of there and like
Yeah.
people who work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it's pretty like if you're a working gaffer.
Yeah.
A lot of them come through there.
Yeah.
If you have an actual like ability to work.
Yeah.
But if you go in there trying to be like I'm a creative snowflake,
Yeah.
then it's a waste, which is what I did,
Yeah.
and it was a waste of time
Yeah.
for me.
But are there any film schools that support the creative snowflake?
Yeah, like Afters.
Okay, that's the one to
That's
do.
the
yeah.
main one. That's
I
like the
did
stu-
one short with Afters,
and it was like next level.
very nice.
Exactly.
Very nice. Very
exactly,
good people.
exactly. Was it a
Good,
masters or
good
was it?
director? No, I think it
Oh.
was their first, but even then it was good.
I went
Amazing location. It was in this like
Moore Park.
no,
Oh, where they
no,
filmed it?
where they filmed.
Yeah.
It was in a it was in like an apartment building
Wow.
in like the city, like
Wow,
on
that's like unbelievable.
But it was like it was in there like this fancy apartment, like it's got like a lobby and a doorman.
Yeah.
And it's in there like their fancy library study area,
Right.
and there's all these fucking statues.
Yeah.
There's like all these busts of fucking philosophers
Oh,
and shit,
wow.
and these huge high bookshelves and like a
Oh.
globe atlases and shit.
That was set deck or was I just there?
No, that was just there.
Yeah,
So
right.
that was the
pretty good.
set. It was meant to be like a bank heist.
Oh wow.
So it was like that was like the interior, and then the
Yeah.
outside was like the park, the garbage room
Yeah.
at Dendy's.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Well, I went to there, and then I didn't make many friends there. But
Crazy.
my best friend at the school was this like really tall male model.
Oh wow. Okay. Very cool.
Do you want me to show you a photo of him?
Yeah, for sure. I'm down. I'm always down to see a hot guy.
Because it's just I just think it's a funny image
Yeah.
that like my best friend was like
Super attractive.
was this super,
tall.
and he was the type of guy.
White.
He was the type of guy.
Oh, he's like a muscly guy.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
was the type of guy who would be like like friends with like everyone.
Yeah.
And like have everyone like, oh, Jeremy's an awesome dude, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Like most of the staff didn't like me because I was pretty like lazy and like not responsible.
Yeah.
And so, but then they all loved him. They're
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
Jeremy's in, and so I'd be walking with him, and then we walk into like the kit room,
Mm-hmm.
and then the guy who's like the manager of the kit room is like, hey, Jeremy, and like they'd be talking for. I'm just
Yeah,
standing there.
and you're just there.
Like, oh, can I have a seat?
Yeah, I know that. I know that feeling.
But I went there, and the problem was that they I feel like they doubled their intake the year that I went in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like less time, more classes, like more groups of people.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the fact that they were all white was the factor that I didn't connect with them.
Ah.
But they're all pretty like northern beaches people. But anyway,
Alright.
so actually
AFTT is a racist institution.
recently they had a group of them hung out.
Okay.
Of my friends, and
Mhm.
they didn't invite me.
Oh.
So if you're watching this, anyone from AFTT that I went to, fuck you.
Is it possible you were like kind of a cunt?
Yeah, that's probably why. Well, I definitely was not liked by them. But anyway, but it's fair enough because I was like acting insane. But like,
Yeah.
so there was a guy
Yeah.
that they admitted into my year
Yes.
who was clearly had learning disabilities.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, and like was also from another
Yeah.
country. So not only did they not speak the language very well,
but also.
they were obviously like a Forrest Gump
Yep.
character.
Okay.
And I remember basically everyone would make fun of him
Yeah.
and bully him.
Yeah.
And he would like say a lot of or like do a lot of crazy things, like
Yeah.
go onto set and like knock over a camera or some shit like that.
Nice.
And then a bunch of the kids
Yeah.
started creating a bingo card of like things
stuff
that he would
do.
So
wow.
then he would go on to set and be like, yeah, let's go or something like that.
Yeah.
He's like a Filipino guy.
Yeah.
And they would write that like, okay, if he does it, take it off.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And so it was just like insane.
Yeah.
And yeah, I nothing got made there by anyone that was of interest or of worth.
Were you able to direct? One
Yeah,
of the
I made
projects? Yeah?
one, and it was like I look back in it, and it's a really like, so it's like set in a church, and it's
Yeah.
about two nuns, and like one of the nuns like starts getting turned on by a statue of Jesus.
Okay.
And it's like a funny, it's like a kind of a funny comedy setup, sort of like comedy short
That
film.
could also
or whatever.
be like good, like satire.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
But then I look, and the way I made it, it's like a really grody, like seedy, like
Yeah. Gotcha.
horny thing that's like not very funny or well made or whatever.
Okay.
So that's a bit annoying. But
It almost sounds like a Louis arc, like from his show.
yeah,
Like it sounds like something he would do.
maybe yeah.
Like a commentary on
Well-
the church and someone getting.
Well, I
horny.
was definitely. Oh yeah, maybe I got inspired by that
Yeah.
glory hole thing that he made. Remember that glory hole bit?
No, I don't think I was.
He like in one of the episodes he walks into like a man's bathroom and
Yeah.
there's like a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
And it says like, put your dick in this for like a treat or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck? This is
Yeah.
good."
What the fuck? Why
Walks
not?
away.
Yeah.
Some guy walks in and immediately sees it and puts his dick into
Oh
it.
yes, yeah.
And he's like, why are you doing that? He's like, you gotta have faith. And so it's all about like faith and like religion or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe it was based on that. Because I
Yeah, it could
remember
be.
watching Louis at the
Yeah.
time. But anyway, so just nothing of was interest.
Nothing of
That's me.
interest. Yeah, man.
Nothing of interest was made. I spent $5,000 on it for no reason. It was a waste of
Do
time.
you find? It's like, because I remember being an actor
Yeah.
and doing all these student films.
Yeah, awful.
And them just varying from so crazy to like, and then like being like proper good professional ones.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're back to like
Yeah.
whatever. Do you have any ones like? Were you ever filming something and like the actors you cast? Could you tell that they were visibly like, what the fuck's going on?
Well, I was, and this is me going into my pretentious brain.
Yeah.
I was like better prepared than everyone else because they're all just like 18-year-old, high school people
Yeah.
who like Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
And I was like already doing like student theater
Yeah.
and stuff at that point. So I was.
So you were an actor's director.
I was an actor. So I was an actor.
Wow.
But I
You
was
like
already
these guys.
watching plays and so the people that I cast in my
You
thing.
knew them.
Well, I knew them, but I also had seen them perform in things.
Yeah, of course.
And so I had like more of a thing to
Yeah.
like,
Gotcha.
But what was your question? Like unprofessional sex?
Like like anytime where like an actor specifically is like, you've kind of seen them check out.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean.
Because I definitely had times where like because the hope of the actor doing it is there's some footage that isn't half decent.
Yeah,
There's some half decent
want
footage of a
30
decent
seconds
performance.
to put into a fucking show
Yeah, a
reel.
fucking little show reel or whatever, or just something that's not terrible.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
I'm doing a good performance in.
What happens is though, because most of those people probably have been told how shitty student films can be, or they're older actors and who never made it.
Yeah.
So they would have done a lot of student films.
Yeah.
So everyone was pretty good at masking it.
Okay.
But definitely, I was feeling like this is so embarrassing. Imagine being 50 and you're doing this awful script that an 18-year-old
Yeah, that's the crazy thing is that there's old people.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like, the best part was like, and this is what I had this theory that if it would be beautiful if everyone was given some money and was forced to make a short film.
Yeah.
Because I think that when you make a short film, you'll get such an insight in people's brains
Yeah.
and like who they are.
Yeah.
And like I definitely was tracking that with these people's short films because some of them thought that they were much more interesting than they were.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
They thought that they were like super angsty and interesting, and ultimately it was like airless nothing.
Yeah, of course.
And then people who thought they were really funny,
Yeah.
and they were trying to make comedy films,
Yeah, yeah.
and they were fucking awful.
Yeah.
And there was like one chick who was like this very quiet. She was like a very quiet black chick who was like anime. Was like kind of like a nerdy chick.
Yeah.
And she made the most interesting film
Oh wow.
in the class, and no one spoke to her ever, just based on cultural differences, I suppose. But she made the most interesting short film. I almost didn't speak a word to like everyone else.
Yeah.
Like high school bullshit. But
Yeah.
but like it was like that shit that was like really interesting to learn about people.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of like a really crazy
Because
story.
I found like I've got definitely a couple. But also this is so.
Yeah.
I've been making. Fatty's been filming some sketches,
Oh.
and so it's like me. You know Udoy?
Yeah, Charles Manson.
Huh?
Charles Manson.
Yeah. Brown Charles Manson.
Yeah.
So it's me, Fatty, Udoy, and Mickey.
Oh my god.
And event like
you gotta get Shiro on the boom.
I kind of did it. Like I was like, I'll act in it. I don't
Yeah.
want to be part of organizing any of this,
Yeah.
like filming stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
I get there the when we're filming the first sketch.
Yeah.
So I get there. I've bought coffees for everyone. I'm
Wow,
pretty
what a
good
great
guy.
Yeah,
you know what
you're a
I mean?
professional guy.
So I open up. There's like the table. You know, like I feel like there's just all this equipment everywhere and stuff. So there's all this equipment, recording and stuff. And then there's like a bong in the middle. And Udo's taking like we'll finish a take and then Udo's going to hit a bong.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That guy smokes that guy's high constantly.
Really?
Like, cause like we met on Sunday, and so like it's Sunday morning. I'm like, oh, what have you been up to? Like, he takes out the bong like first thing.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Hilarious.
And he's like, oh, here it is. I'm like, yeah, man, I've already done one today. It's like 9:30.
Yeah.
It's like he's a wake up and hit a bong.
Yeah.
And I only did a bong for the first time yesterday after we wrapped or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like it's such a. How are you doing this all the time?
Yeah.
Because you were a big weed.
Still,
Man,
Yeah.
Still,
yeah.
have you've been off it, haven't you? Or you've been back on?
On and off. On
Okay,
and off.
that's cool.
Yeah.
But like, cause I was smoke joint stuff. Like that's fine, nice little
But
body
but
height.
I
You feel a bit silly.
but I never did it when I had shit to do.
Yeah, he does it. He does it.
Those people are like
just
insane
all the
to me.
time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you doing film? How are you working a camera right now?
But was he like okay? Or
Yeah,
was he
he's
like,
fine.
Oh,
Because
okay.
he's just always at that base level.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how are you? I don't understand how you're doing stuff.
I mean,
right now.
I definitely go if I'm let's like public holiday. I'll go through like I've done it where it's maybe like 3 or 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
Wake and bake, and that sort of shit.
Yeah,
And like
okay.
it's like it does put you in like a next level like state. So
because he's doing stuff.
I don't know how you.
So
keep
then
doing
I'm
that.
like there, like I'm like the actor, and I'm also like first ADing and being like, is everyone ready? Like there's times where everyone's ready to go for a take, and we're all just kind of sitting there.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can we get 5 for a bong hit, please?
Yeah, exactly. And then like Fatty gets in, he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna film 2 episodes now. I'm like, there's not a fucking chance. We're gonna do 2 scenes today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's fun. But yeah, I remember there was a student film.
Yeah.
I remember what was the annoying thing is like you'd always get in, and it's like you've been casted, and you know people are excited.
Really?
Well, like some of you.
Yeah, I guess if you're like a new actor
to the
or something.
director.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like it feels like a.
they're excited. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
And they're doing their thing where they pretend they have options as well.
Of other actors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're being like, oh yeah, man, I will see if you're good for the part, and it's like
Yeah.
there's 4 other people doing, and
Yeah.
you know. So anyway, so like they're all that, like they're excited. You're like, you know, because my thing's like I'm just gonna put the work in. I'm gonna be professional.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna put the work in. I want a good performance,
Yeah.
so I can get whatever that footage is,
Yeah.
right? So you get in there, and then the first people you interact with on the day is always hair and makeup, right?
You had hair and makeup on a student film.
Well, not really.
Yeah.
Maybe this is when they were bloated.
Yeah.
So it's like the people doing hair and makeup on a student film don't want to do hair and makeup.
Oh yeah.
They're the worst people.
Yeah.
They're just angry that they've been put in this position, and they're just going, yeah, I guess that's fine. And you're being like, hey, what's going on, guys? And they're all like sad, and they're bitching about. There's all drama. Like they're the worst people.
Yeah.
I always hated those people.
Yeah.
And there was one where there's a guy doing behind the scenes. And he's like 17 and he's a little shit. And he's got to like interview me for something.
What?
And like he's interviewing and then
Is this afters?
No, this was TAFE.
Oh my god, this is crazy. Was it
Yeah,
like a
I
big
know.
production?
It was kind of big. I think it was right
Okay.
after COVID. So they could only do one production.
Whoa, okay,
And
yeah,
so,
right.
like, obviously the people that got the good roles.
Yeah, right.
And there were people that got the bad roles and they weren't
Yeah.
happy. And then you're like, I see why you got the bad roles.
Yeah.
You guys all suck.
Yeah, right.
I don't like you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Stop. I don't want to be around you, but I got nothing. So anyway, so there's guys like, you know, interviewing me or whatever. And he's like making jokes to himself and then laughing. And I'm just sitting there while this guy laughs at his own joke.
Wow.
And the camera's on me or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's insane. That guy got kicked off. A guy got kicked off a student film set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, definitely,
Crazy.
like, the level of professionalism
Yeah.
is, like, very crazy.
Yeah.
And I would, like, so, like, starting the OG channel, like, I'm
Yeah.
doing, like, a lot of work with, and collaborating with friends and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So I'm learning more and more about, like, my work ethic and, like, how I behave in, like, a
Yeah.
work setting. And so, like, I definitely, when I look back, I was definitely, like, the Rachel Berry, like, the snooty, you know,
Yeah.
one who would try and be do it properly and everything,
Yes.
and everyone was like, we're 18 and we're trying to fuck
Yeah.
each other.
Because I've experienced you directing as well.
Why?
As an extra.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man.
that thing.
Good sketches.
So like, I definitely like.
By the way, if we're talking about disrespect,
What?
you were at the Chippo. You had like 20 comics in a basement for hours.
Don't go there.
You had 20 comics in a basement for hours.
Because I didn't think any of them were funny. No.
No, as extras. You were like, guys,
No,
I need
no,
extras.
yeah,
Help
yeah,
me
yeah.
out.
Yeah, that was a
I got
bad-
to be in the scene.
Yeah, that was a bad. You
know
lucked
what I
out. You
mean?
lucked out.
I lucked out. I was one of the two people that
Yeah, that was a
were
bad.
extras, and then the rest of it's like what? It's a 9 a.m. call.
Yeah.
It's like 1 o'clock.
I have 3 like Rat Club lineups just doing nothing downstairs,
yeah, man.
and they don't even have access to the
Yeah.
food because all the food's
Exactly.
on tables.
You've
upstairs.
got like a very okay comedy show down there.
Yeah, it was
You know?
that was a rough day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very
Yeah.
very
It was funny.
Yeah,
It
and
could have been funny. You were missing a couple shots.
yeah, it was well, I don't want to go into that stuff because me and Ben made it, but I definitely wasn't. Yeah, it's definitely could have been better covered in terms
Yeah.
of coverage. But anyway, so I just like learning about like me being overstepping and like being really annoying and that
Yeah.
like being persnickety about
Yep.
stuff. So I remember like there was like people we would be on shoots and the AD would just decide that I just want to smoke rollies all day
Yeah.
and just not be involved.
Yeah, annoying.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm the camera operator, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm the AD now.
Yeah.
And it would be like loads of shit, and like,
But that's fair.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is. Well, if he's not going to do the work,
Oh no, sorry for me. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying for you, that's a
So-
fine.
sorry,
if you
sorry,
just say,
yeah,
"Fuck,
yeah,
I have
yeah,
to
yeah,
take
yeah.
over from AD."
No,
That's
sorry.
fine. Yeah,
That's fine with me. Yeah, I was saying like it's like very unprofessional. on
yeah,
them,
of course, yeah.
But then like there would be times where like for like a very small shoot,
Yes.
it was like a 1 day like an exercise thing.
Yeah.
And you get a bunch of the acting students, and then you
Yeah.
know, come on, you make a little movie, or yeah,
Yeah.
and like I would go and read the script, and I would shot list 100 shots, and I'd number them all, and,
Yeah.
and I'd come up with colored printed
Yeah.
documents. I hand them out to everyone.
Crazy shots. Yeah.
And then
We got 8 hours.
and then we rock up, and the first shot's like and I'm like, all right, and I'm like fully. Because
Yeah, man.
I wanted to be like an 80. I'm like fully like in there. I was like,
yeah.
okay, guys, let's start with shot 81. Let's scene 3.1. Let's get that shot set up. And they're like, oh no, let's just do this. We'll just do the shot now because we have this prop here now.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. Well, and they're like, what should we write on the slate? Because you write like the shot numbers on it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, just put like 204. And they're like, nah, we're just gonna put one, bro.
Starting with shot 204 is crazy. Yeah, man. Take one. Let's go.
yeah, whatever your bullshit
We
list
got
is meant to
239 to get through. Come on, all right?
be. But it would just be stuff like that where like you would, yeah, and like,
Yeah.
and there was like this director chick who was like the teacher. Oh, I had this big thing where I would ask a lot of questions, and it became like my thing.
You were the question guy.
I was the guy who would always put my hand up, and be
Yeah.
like, "What about this? Have you thought about this? Like,
Yeah.
hang on, in this situation, what do you do? You know?"
Yeah.
And I think when I look back, definitely part of it was like a bad part of me that was like really actually doing it to signal something about myself,
You're asking a question to show that you're
In-
thinking in a particular way.
and that I'm smarter than everyone.
And you're asking a question to challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when I look back, I'm like, oh, that was probably like I wasn't being honest in why I was doing it.
Yeah.
But that was the main thing. And then I would just be like unprofessional in other ways, like I'd be late returning gear and all sort of bullshit.
Yeah.
So it was just like a mixed bag. But ultimately, it was during COVID, and it was like not a good time because it was during COVID. So like
Yeah, definitely.
classes were just like literally I was paying 30 grand a year or whatever, and the class would be like, all right, let's go on Zoom and let's do a lighting class. All right, get your iPhone torch out
Oh, wow. Yeah.
and light this ball, this tennis ball.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was pretty but yeah, and overall it was all right time and yada yada
Yeah.
yada. But yeah, I mean, definitely stuff like that. When you get into, it's like when I thought I wanted to be an actor. And then I
Yeah.
started trying to be an actor.
Yeah.
Were you ever part of the State Theatre Company?
No.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. So just like when you get to something and you're like, oh, this is kind of like, if I really wanted to be this, I would excel. It'd be like if you want to try stand up and then you do your first book show, and I'm like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is like the thing that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then you learn either by failing or succeeding or however you feel,
Yeah.
whether you really want to do it. So like
Yeah,
I
that
would,
makes sense, yeah.
so I would like we're trying to be an actor, and like I went to this like big acting thing, and I'm like in this big performing at the Seymour Center, and I'm like 17 or something,
Yeah.
and it's like the state drama ensemble. It's like this big,
Yeah.
picked people, and it's like
And that's when
but-
you realize it's not
not
it's
for
not
me
for you.
because I hated everyone there, and I
Yeah.
didn't, and I wasn't good at it.
Yeah.
I wasn't good at it. And then same with like filmmaking or whatever the fuck. Like
Yeah, okay.
you go to film school and you're like, yeah, I'm actually not. I actually don't want to be a gaffer's assistant for 5 years
Yeah, of course.
until I can pitch to one guy who
Until one day I can get a
So but then you sort of change tacks, and like I still and so comedy is kind of like a mirage, and that's why I think about it in life in terms of like
a
lot
you
of-
can be a filmmaker with your comedy.
but it's more like
you know what I mean?
Venn diagrams.
Yeah, of course.
It's like the one thing leads to another because it's kind of related,
Yeah.
and the next thing, and then so comedy is kind of like an amalgamation of a lot of stuff.
yeah.
So like it'd be great to be a film, it'd be great to make TV, it'd be great to be acting shit and like make more sketches or whatever. But
yeah.
and then this OG stuff is kind of like associated with that sort of stuff because it's like about making
You
shit
make it
and,
film, yeah, of
all
course.
this sort of shit.
It's a new medium.
Yeah, and so
YouTube's the
and
new
can I just
space.
say, if you're a fan of dad jokes, no offense, like, I
They haven't made it this far.
I love you, and
They haven't made it this far into the pod.
yeah. Okay, so should we talk about the real shit?
Let's talk about the real shit.
All right. Fuck yeah, man. No. Well, yeah. I don't know what else we can discuss. But I should leave that for you to leave that.
No,
interview.
absolutely. I feel it's good stuff. Some fun Filmmaking. Do you think is filmmaking like Italian food?
In that
It's about like
gives you carbs?
it's about the quality of the ingredients. And when people try to overcomplicate, like, you know what I mean?
You're saying that if people put too many olives in a pasta, it makes it like worse.
Yeah, when you try to get too experimental with like bolognese,
Oh,
you fuck it up. But like if you
no,
can,
I think that filmmaking is more like eggs on toast.
okay,
There's a million ways to do it,
yeah,
but but everyone's too
yeah,
focused on making it like avant-garde and crazy.
Yeah, because what I would notice doing student
Yeah.
films is it's like, okay, there's all these cool shots you want to do,
Yeah.
and there's all this like
Yeah, and
symbolism,
and
you've
as the
written
actor,
in,
you're the least important thing, even
and
though
like,
you're
you
the
don't care. And it's like, how about a compelling character?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
how about
yeah,
you
yeah,
write one of
yeah,
those,
yeah,
and
yeah,
people are going
yeah.
to give a shit.
Well, that's the you
You could write the simplest thing
Yeah.
with two compelling people. It's going to be so much better than your fucking horror movie that's about.
And that's literally what it was with the girls' film that was like interesting.
Yeah.
It was two people in a bar talking,
Yeah.
and it was fucking fascinating.
Of course.
And then, but then everyone else is like working on this. Like, man, some of
Yeah,
the
man.
shit was like,
it's a horror movie, but it's about capitalism. You know what I mean?
yeah, or
It's
more,
like you're not making Parasite, cunt. All right,
or the worse, where it's like it's a horror movie, but it's pure style. There's no substance.
yeah, yeah,
It's like a parody of a parody,
yeah,
and there's like there's literally nothing happening.
yeah. To take on the trope,
Yeah,
and it's like, no, but you need to do something.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so, if I had my time again, I would try to make better, simpler films. But you know, life is about regrets,
Yeah,
and life is about living with them and living past them.
you really do live with regrets.
Yeah, like I regret coming to do this podcast,
Rare.
but I'm living with it.
You're living with it.
And
This is going to be our most listened to one.
you reckon?
Yeah, man. I'm
Mate.
posting this on the subreddit. You know what I mean? I'm saying, guys, listen through. There's some drama at the 2-hour 20 mark.
Yeah. We should. We
We
should
got to
do.
listen to all of it.
We
for
should do a
context.
click. But do you do like a little preview thing?
We can.
Why don't we do a preview thing?
All right, cool. I'm gonna take a guess here and say the camera has stopped recording.
Oh really?
It's filled up. Yeah.
Oh, check it out.
I only get about 40 minutes or so.
Oh,
I
fuck,
Still,
my bad.
Oh, no, I still release the audio. Like I don't
Oh,
care.
sorry.
It's kind of become just a very standard thing. But yeah, dog, it's off.
Oh fuck.
No, it's no worries, man. No
Well,
stress, man.
maybe it'd be funny to like record like a
we can maybe get a little
fake, yeah, mad drama thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To
Okay,
help my friend Ramsey.
Just, this will be a little. This will be part of the pod. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So Alan, yeah, mad.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about some of the behind the scenes stuff that maybe hasn't
The drama.
come to air yet? Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
There's.
exclusives?
All right. I'm finally ready to reveal the full story.
Here we go.
That's really good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and if you were annoyed that we clickbaited you, then fuck you and suck a dick.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
learn a little
It's
bit.
free. It's a free podcast. What do you want?
Exactly.
Were you paid for this?
You learn about Japan.
You tricked you?
You think you're better than this?
You think we
All
tricked
right.
you? Took you no time at all.
Yeah, man. Anyway, closing thoughts.
Mm.
Anything you want to get into the world?
Follow and support my friend Ramsey Smith. He's a great guy. He's an even better husband. He's a mediocre comedian.
What do you really think of me as a comedian, Alan?
You?
All these years later, I still care.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 No.
It's
no. Tell the truth. cunt. Don't fuck around. This is not a bit.
No.
What do you think of me?
honestly,
Honestly.
I think that you're like, when I first saw you, I'm like, I don't understand what this guy's this guy's kind of off-putting,
Yeah.
and the jokes I don't really understand them.
Yeah.
And now that's all different now, in that I like get what you like. I understand the archetype that you're pitching,
Okay.
and it's like very easy to get, and you're on board very quickly, and you've become more likable and comfortable on stage, so you can riff through bits. And your work ethic and having new bits is like fast passing me like times 10. Like the number of new bits you always have. I'm not saying they're good bits,
Yeah, I know.
But,
no, that's very clear.
but yeah. And I respect you, and I do look up to you legitimately, because you do work harder than me in comedy.
Wow, man.
There you go.
What a world. Well,
and now your turn.
Huh?
For
I
for
think
me?
you're how interesting you are. You were very interesting when you start. You were
Yeah,
really
yeah, okay.
engaging.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was like, I want to see what Alan brings
Yeah,
every single night.
yeah,
And now you've kind of come. It's like the pendulum had to swing
yeah,
and had to swing the other way, where you've got a little bit more normal.
yeah,
There's less chance of the bits, but that's also just a habit of doing like good rooms and needing a consistency.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't. It's harder to risk a huge bomb
Yeah,
when you've got bits that'll work or whatever.
yeah,
So I think you've become into more of your you're a bit too like normal.
yeah,
The
yeah. I
weirdness
agree.
is still there.
I agree.
So I think there's going to hit the pendulum's going to swing back.
Yeah,
Where you're going to have all these skills that you've acquired from doing
Yeah.
all these things, and you're going to be able to be weird in a much more. And also, I think you're going to get to a point where people are going to respect you enough.
Wow.
Where rumors are going to say, we're going to let you go a little bit wild, Alan.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm going to give you, going to have more leeway,
Wow.
but it's because you might make gold. You know what
Wow,
I mean?
yeah.
You're going to be interesting.
That's good.
And that's what matters. But I think your work ethic is dropped off. I'm not
Definitely.
seeing you out.
Nah, never.
Okay, you're focusing on this dumb internet bullshit.
Dumb shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I understand it works for you. It's making
Yeah.
you money.
Sure.
But I want to see you do stand up. That's what
100%,
I
yeah.
want. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Let's
from a
do
selfish
stand-up.
perspective.
Let's do
Let's
stand
do
up.
stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up.
And you stand up yourself and you go on a walk.
Stand up for your
Because
rights.
it's you got to get sun once in a while.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, that's too long.
Good night, Australia.
Night Australia.
I always say that.